Sports Subaru and Don Mealy Chevrolet. Don Mealy Chevrolet is in Claremont. Talked to J.C. Harrelson. I bought my Chevy Silverado from there.
You might want to get a Corvette from JC, and you might want to swing by the studio and let us drive it around because you're very nice.
Or a Traverse. That's what my wife drives from Don Mealy Chevrolet.
Or you can be like our friend Tony Rage and get a Subaru because we got Mike Stacks on the Subaru side of things. Subaru, not only being an outstanding car brand, but Sports Subaru, they're sponsoring the College Park Jazz Festival on Edgewater Drive November 4th. They're going to have cars out there and giveaways, and they always support like really good charities. And right now they're sponsoring the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society Light the Night event. That's on November 9th. They're also going to have more cars and giveaways out there, always trying to do great stuff in the community.
Also offering invoice pricing on 2024 Outback models, combined with no dealer fee and a lifetime warranty.
It's a great dealership.
Yeah, and Subarus, they hold their value and great resale value. So talk to Mike Stacks for the Subaru side of things, or J.C. Harrelson for the Chevy side of things over there in Claremont.
It is a corporate time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha, our producer's here. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
We should be fully rested because we are back, baby. Better than ever. Back from vacation.
Or worse.
But nobody knew. Nobody. You look dead tired.
I'm not rested.
Yeah. You don't look it. You look rough.
Rough. 7 days going.
Yeah.
That's how I was in Sedona. When you go to a place like that and you do all these adventures.
Yeah. It's not a vacation.
You don't get any rest.
No.
I gotta see the rocks. I gotta see all the rocks. I gotta see that rock. I gotta see that rock.
Then I gotta walk up them all the way to the top.
And then look down and then climb down.
And then look around and be like, this is awesome.
All right.
Hey,
there's another one over there.
It's fun when you're
look at the arch.
When you're standing and you're looking at a beautiful canyon, right?
It's vast.
And so you're looking, you're like, oh, this is unbelievable. And then you're like, gotta look at fantasy football.
Oh my god!
I know it's hard.
I need to see. I'm seeing it.
All right,
It's there.
The fantasy football grounds. It's what grounds you within the majestic, beautiful, like the majestic, beautiful scenescape that you are absorbing. You need the fantasy football to keep you in reality.
These canyons have been here for 10 million years. And,
they'll still be here. When I look up from my phone.
They will be.
Yeah.
Tough canyon.
Christian McCaffrey's injury report is changing every minute.
Yeah. Tell me something, Arthur Smith. Why did you fire Bijan one run at the end of the game with 44 seconds going if he had diarrhea?
All right, so we're going to. There's so much to talk about from the past week because we were off, and we've got a lot of stories, and we're going to be telling some on the BDM show.
Yeah, I would probably, if you're not a BDM, I would probably head over there because the goodies are going to be there.
But a couple things. First, what'd you guys do in this past week off?
A lot of resting for me, and a lot of doctor's appointments.
I had a lot of doctor's appointments.
Got
them all done while I had the time.
It was kind of sad because I saw Sam at the Solar Bears opening match, opening game.
Man, what a game that was. Double overtime.
We left early.
Yes.
We left early because May...
I stayed the whole time.
Yeah, I wish we could have. We had to get May home. But you know what? I was proud of my kid. She goes, can we put this on? Can we watch? Can we follow along?
Oh, there you go.
So we know what's happening. I'm like, absolutely. So we found a stream. It's easy to find every sporting event for free on your phone. It's just literally what a time to be alive.
Just type it in and put free.
Yeah. It's amazing. You can do that for all OnlyFans as well. What a time to be alive. So you just type in whatever you want in free, and it happens. So we're following along. It went into double overtime?
Yeah, double overtime.
Oh, we lost, but that's all right.
Went to a shootout. Never seen a shootout live. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, really, really cool.
I didn't even know they went to double overtime.
Oh, yeah.
I thought there was one overtime.
It was chaos, man.
Yeah, the place is going nuts. I will say, though, that...
Did they win?
They did not. They did not win.
They lost. I will say that better than
exciting
football,
game, though.
Better than football, though. Hockey double overtime still faster. Like fast.
Oh, yeah.
They get you out. They're like, one overtime, get to the next overtime. Let's do it.
But it was
people
a good
were
time.
getting sloshed on those $5 beers. Let me tell you, Thursday night games.
Yeah, I have never.
I got harassed by a drunk old man.
Yeah, I have. I don't know if you saw this,
Makes
Sam,
sense.
but I have never seen them drink them out of craft beer.
Oh, really?
And I was like, because that's when you know things are going to take a turn on, especially leaving. You're going to see a lot of stumble. You might see some trash can action.
Yeah.
The zombies were coming out.
They were out.
It was and guys buying, so many beers. But it was a great time. What a great time,
Some people weren't even watching the hockey match. They were just at the bar and just posted up at the bar with $5 beers.
Especially our bar seems to have a very...
very popular.
I had something for the first time that I've never had at Gringo's. I got Gringo's nachos.
Yeah.
And it was freaking amazing. And then I ate them again the next day at another Gringo's. Andrew and I liked our Gringo's nachos so much.
Back-to-back nachos.
Yeah, we did it. I was vacation. I was like, I'm going to eat crazy. So I had chicken nachos, and I liked them so much. The next day, I was like, I want chicken nachos again. And I got them 2 days in a row.
Also, there's something about drinking on a Thursday because you're like,
almost a Friday.
Yeah, but then you go crazy because you get excited. You're like,
you go too fast.
Yeah,
too fast.
And then it's like I got to go to work the next day, but I'm just going to be Facebook Friday.
Yeah,
and then you just get annihilated.
Yeah. You go too hard, and you're like, the rest of the team will handle it tomorrow.
Yeah,
right. Mm-hmm. That's kind of what you do. But that game was good. I'm trying to think of anything out of the ordinary that I did other than just rest. And I did work on my scooter a little bit.
You told me you're close.
Yeah, I'm close. I got the parts that I needed to lock the shifter arm, and I haven't installed them yet. That's the thing. Is it as much I'd buy parts or find what I needed to, that might take hours over the weekend.
Yeah.
Over the week. Then when you get home, you don't, there's not much time or daylight left to jump in there and okay, let's get everything out, get all my tools out and ready to go. But I'm very close to getting it rolling, so that should be very, very fun.
See, I kind of want you to postpone it until we get to the full year that we were on the deadline of 3 days left.
I can do that. I can totally do that.
Yeah.
Is that what you want?
Get all the way to April, the next BDM Appreciation Week, and then we'll do Scootin' and Tootin' too.
Okay, yeah.
This time it's happening.
Yeah, exactly.
This time we roll.
But then not finish.
But then everybody walks in, and Hourglass has turned it into an actual table. The scooter. It's a permanent installation now. I sold it to him. But so I did some cooking. Let me tell you, Ross gave me this idea, and I'll go ahead and burn it because it's funny. And it was super interesting, and I'd never heard of this before in my life. Have you ever heard of drip chili?
Not until I saw his post. Yeah.
Man, he put up a post. It was cryptic, too. He's like, I'm thinking about making some drip chili. That's all it said. That also sounds kind of gross, right?
Yeah,
it's like drip chili. Sounds like it's coming out of your butt. Like it sounds weird. You put the meat, you make a big meatball of chili meat, seasoned chili meat, and you put it on a grate, and then you put the grate over a Dutch oven, and then you put it in a smoker with all the Dutch oven has all of your chili spices and your vegetables and your beans or your tomatoes or whatever your base for your chili, and then you let the meat cook and smoke, and then you let it drip into your chili. And I got inspired, because he said he was going to make it. I was like, dude, I got to do this.
But then do you smash the meatball into the chili?
You do.
Okay, all right.
I mean, not not through the grate. You don't need to stomp on your poo through the shower grate.
Right.
It's not like that. But so I did it. I got the 2 pounds of beef. I mixed it up, put some spices in there.
Yeah.
I put jalapenos. I put some really exotic. I found these exotic bell peppers. I was like, I'll throw these in there. Jalapenos, put in my chili base, and then I smoked that thing for 2 hours and let it drip into the pan. I crunched it all up. Man, that was good chili. Smoky chili.
That's awesome.
It tastes like the Porky's chili. Remember Porky? God bless you, Porky's.
Yeah.
Remember the Porky's chili that had that smoke flavor? I mean, if you guys want some, I'll bring it. I put black beans in there and I smoked it all up.
Whatever happened to the statue at Porky's? I
don't know. I heard somebody was holding on to it for Steve for safekeeping, and we found all the tables and chairs, right?
Yeah,
they were still being kept.
I don't even think he wanted that.
He didn't want that.
He just wanted the pig.
I wonder what he did with all the backstage passes from the bathroom from NASCAR events.
So I realize, and Crystal's going to come in at 1 on the BDM show to talk about a couple of these things from my trip. But one thing I realized when I was over in Moab is
that how you say it?
That Moab?
Tracking the Moab. Most people say that when I was tracking the Moab, or because I did notice that a lot of people going to the Moab is slightly elitist in I spent some time in the Moab. You know, like it's like that sort of thing.
The Moab.
Yeah, it's like I think you're supposed to do that.
It's just in a never-ending expanse of desert with rocks around.
Yeah,
right. I mean, there's nothing fancy about it. If you want to go there, get a cheap hotel, and then see the national parks, it's not expensive at all. You know,
right? Just go there, walk around.
yeah.
Free rocks.
It's crazy.
Free rock looking.
That we have these national parks with insane stuff to see inside that is, virtually free. It's not that expensive, and you can go and do it.
Make sure you bring cash.
Yeah.
A lot of those national parks only have the cash box.
Exactly.
They also
except for the springs. I feel like the national parks did a bad job with the springs. Should have been limiting the. Should have had you should have to fill out a form to get in the springs.
So, and what I realize is that I have a damn near crippling vertigo, anxiety when I see my family or kids, and I leave it up to kids too, because when I see adult strangers sit on the ledge of 1,000-foot cliff or whatever,
like Russian teens doing that on buildings. I watch all of those.
That kind of gives me the same.
That's anxiety
feeling.
training for me.
And I've had this, and I noticed it when me and Crystal went to Hanging Rock in North Carolina. That was the first time I noticed it. Where I don't have it myself. Like I could be standing on a ledge and be fine, but when Crystal is standing on a ledge, it gives me this burst of
diarrhea. It's love diarrhea for your loved ones.
It's like the anxiety is in the middle of my stomach, and I can only imagine this is what Daniel feels like daily.
Yeah, I got it right now.
It burst out into all my extremities, and then
you literally feel like you're spinning. Yeah,
and then
that's me. That's why I passed out.
My hands and feet go numb. I go numb.
Okay, that's the feeling when I passed out on the bed last week. That's the feeling. You got
Welcome to anxiety.
You got it. You got the juice, dude.
No, but it's just
same as us. Same as us.
It only happens to me when I see my family stand near a cliff.
Yeah.
And then it's like it goes it goes from my stomach to my fingers.
It's a
and then
release
I'm like,
of chemicals.
Man.
Do you do that? While you stand there?
No, but that's how I feel. Mitch McConnell.
You got to push it down.
I'm just I'm just silent, but it's happening internally.
But you're like not breathing, so then your face is turning red.
I can't even stop it, and I imagine this is what Daniel.
That's called a panic attack, man.
You can't stop.
You can't stop it.
And it's like
we've been trying to tell you this for years.
It's my brain. It's not even rational because
we never said it was.
I know.
We just say it happens, and you can't stop it. Can't stop, won't stop.
A lot of those angles too. Like Andrea was getting a little bit of it, like looking at pictures of your sons Tommy and Max standing on rocks, and I was like, you have to understand the angles on these are looking like.
Of course,
one of them it looked like there's one that it appears as if Tommy is going to like launch himself into Never Never Land.
Yeah.
Optical
illusion.
It's an optical illusion for the most part, and a lot of these things are not straight cliffs, or there's a like 5 feet below the cliff. There's another ledge.
5 below.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you
haven't been to 5 below,
amazing.
So you wouldn't be falling straight off a ledge. You would probably fall 15 feet to another ledge.
Yeah,
you know,
and then fall.
Yeah, like and some of them, like even some of these things, like you probably wouldn't die, but you'd never be the same if you did fall. Like something would be wrong. I've always
wondered if you do fall and get the never been the same. You know, like if you ever go back. Or if you just check off that area. If you're just like, I've done the Moab now.
Some people...
do you go back?
Some people... Well, if you're never the same.
I've never wanted to be one of those people where I go back and then everybody tells me how brave I am for putting my, like, just a lump of a body into, like, a basket and I'm pulling... or they pull me up and I'm like, look at how brave he is. So he's back doing it.
So we were at Canyonlands, and Daniel...
I don't like the name of that. It sounds like Candyland. I don't like it.
It's basically this gigantic national park filled with canyons. Like
Makes
huge
sense
canyons.
With the name.
Perfect name.
And so we're going around and seeing all the different canyons. And
how do you pick which This is a serious question. Don't get mad. How do you pick which one to start with? You don't want to start with the best canyon.
hard to tell which one's the best. They're just different.
Well, which one's
it's all the same.
They're different. It's all the same.
You just go, you look at it, you're like, oh my.
Pick one.
It's insane.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
I mean,
is it more impressive that the rocks were formed that way from wear and wind, or is it more impressive like Universal Studios, a Harry Potter dragon throwing fire down on you?
It's insane. And
but
again,
one of them we did, and we had to use our smarts to do it. The other one is just like, it's just a poop. It's an earth poop.
God did it, and he does things easily.
He's powerful
He's
as hell.
magic. If you're magic, isn't that impressive?
Exactly.
But I mean, and again, people always, I go on these trips and then I come back and just start talking mad ass about everything, and people are like,
because it's funny.
I'm telling you the funny part. The reality is it's beautiful.
Do we have to start giving a disclaimer at the beginning of the show? Okay, before we start talking, we understand that Canyonland is a miracle on Earth, okay? It's a miracle.
And but I'm going to tell you the funny part.
And anybody would be lucky to go there with their family and enjoy the time, but we're going to crap on it real quick.
So we go at the end of the day, like it's a thing over there to pick a place to watch the sunset, because you're such a beautiful area that like you go to the most beautiful place to watch.
I'm going to assume you were hiking and climbing all day.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're tired by the time the sunset comes.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm a sun up to sundown rock man. I don't think that's me.
It is tiring, man, especially in the desert.
We didn't start off like sun up.
Slept in.
Okay. Thank you. I thought you were like 8 a.m. Let's hit the rocks,
dude. And it's a different type of hot. And then I know this is like a different world down there. It's the same old cliche that everybody says, but for whatever, like being in the sun in the desert is like being under some sort of radiation.
Yeah,
it's like
it's piercing.
Sucks it out of your feet.
Like when you're standing in the sun, it's like you're standing in radiation, and then you're like, oh my god, like you can't get away from it. And then
no shade, it's a desert.
But then you stand in the shade, you're like, that's cool.
Thank God I have these rocks to look at.
Like it's kind of cold.
Hide under the canyon.
You're really selling it. The radiation with the rocks to look at. This is great.
So we're at this place called Dead Horse State Park to watch the sunset.
Did you see the dead horse?
It's on my list.
It's pretty amazing.
It's a beautiful spot, yeah.
And
why is it named that? It's got to be some terrible tale.
It says it on the brochure.
You don't care about the history. You just want to go there and look at it.
It's usually because you see that those mountains out there. Like if you look at it, it looks like a dead horse, but it never really. It's like I can kind of see the feet and the belly. Something
subjective.
Yeah. Like some Native American named that, and then but they didn't know.
Stupid.
Anyway,
so it's white people that named that.
I don't know. So we're there, and I'm getting this anxiety explosion from my stomach because Crystal and the boys want to get close to.
You got to drop off a dead horse, buddy.
Crystal wants to take a picture of the boys on this rock, and is close to the edge, so it looks like they're standing on the.
Do it for the gram. We got to get some gram photos, man.
And then so I can't even look at them when they're standing next to a ledge. It is crippling to me. So they're and Crystal's like, we're fine, stop, and I don't want to ruin their and I don't want my son, because Tommy feels bad for me. He's like, it's upsetting Dad, so we don't have to stand over there.
Why'd you tell him?
Well, if you see me, I can't even look.
He's going, whoa!
Well, you always tell me not to say a word, just keep it inside and stuff it down into cancer.
But Crystal's like, let's not upset Dad. She's bullying me a little bit.
Let's not upset Dad. Oh, man, he's getting
and that's fine.
He's getting his rock diarrhea.
Daddy's a P word.
Yeah. It's fine. And so they're up there taking pictures, and then there's this kid. And this kid is probably, I would say, 4 or 5 years old, and he's barefoot, and he's got long, like kind of a mountain wild kid hair.
A feral child?
Yeah, kind of like a feral
kid.
Yeah, and he's jumping from rock to rock, like stumbling around near the edge of a 1,000-foot cliff.
Okay.
And then
great.
And then by himself. But by the way, every time Tommy and Max get near a cliff, I'm like, watch out! Because in my mind,
guys,
they're going to trip over their shoes
slip
and
fall.
And then just fall over. That's all I'm thinking about.
We have a friend that.
Yep.
Had that happen and passed away. That's a real it happens. I'm not going to make light of it at all. Just as the only time I'll say it. There is a friend of the show, friend of Orlandoans, that I think made a wrong step, and that's what happened. And that stuff happens all the time.
Yeah.
It's part of the very small risk that you take when you go into those type of situations.
And I like that where there's no like yellow paint on the on the side of every cliff or railings or whatever. Like you're like, hey, you go there at your own risk. Don't fall off to your death. But you could easily, especially here. I didn't go look over the side, but I'm pretty sure it's straight down to your death if you go off. It's not a gradual. You're not tumbling down. You catch a tree. It's just sheer. It's a sheer cliff.
They didn't put that fencing that you see in Colorado to keep rocks from falling onto the road.
So Sam, look at this kid.
He's
giving me the biggest anxiety.
Oh my God! Oh, look at him go.
Yeah,
look at this.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's a mountaineer.
So,
whoa,
where'd he go?
Okay, I didn't like that part. I didn't like that part.
He's running around, and I'm not joking. He's tripping and then
he's
stumbling.
He's rolling around.
And so I'm like, what is going? Where are these kids' parents? So then I didn't videotape this, but so Tommy and Max start playing with this kid, and they're climbing rocks with him, right?
And he's learning. He's teaching them his ways.
And so and he's straight up. He's like, climb this, and then Tommy and Max are like trying to follow him. I'm like, hey boys, I'm like, this kid is way better at climbing than you.
Let's do follow the leader.
And so
Play a game of horse.
Then I meet his parents, and his parents are from Moab, and this is a Moab kid,
Gotcha.
a straight up rock kid, right?
Rock kid.
And they're just sitting there making out. They're the parents. He's got young
Making out?
Yeah. Like they didn't get. They're hippies, and they're Moab hippies, and they got a hippie.
Is
rock
that the vibe
kid.
of the people there? Are they like
The
real
locals?
crunchy?
Yeah. I mean, they're in this beautiful desert.
Everybody lives in like a van.
Yeah.
A lot of making out.
And so then this kid jumps off this rock. I'm not joking. It's probably 10 feet, lands on another rock, and then rolls out of it, right? And then Tommy's like, oh my God, are you okay? And then he pops up. He's like, of course I'm okay.
Yeah.
And kudos to
I know what I'm doing. Yeah.
Kudos to Tommy for caring.
And then it's like, oh yeah, like this is the way this kid grew up.
Yeah.
His parents are not nervous at all.
So
They've been climbing on rocks his entire life.
Yeah.
Would you say this is their St. John's River child?
Yeah.
It's a St. John. It's the equivalent of a St. John's River kid
and
who knows how to back a boat in.
So then I'm like, as this kid plays with my kids, I'm like holding my tongue to be like, Tommy, you cannot do these same things because I don't want to be the tourist that like the lame. But also,
you could have taken him over by himself and given him a really loud 1-to-1. But kids love that when you pull them aside and go like, "Hey, listen to me," don't do what this kid's doing.
Well, I don't want to be the helicopter parent that's all nervous. But I also, when Tommy ends up being helicoptered out of there,
I was gonna say, but you also know your kids better than these people, so let's.
And the park ranger is going to be like, "Well, why were you letting your kid do the same as the Moab kid? You idiot!
Yeah.
Like, you're a tourist. You're from Florida.
Obviously, they don't know how to jump on desert rocks.
Yeah. So then I'm constantly.
They should have a park ranger child. They should have a little ranger, right?
Yeah.
To kind of mitigate, like, you can do it, you can't do it, so you can learn how to do it.
The struggle, the entire trip is not being the parent that's constantly
too overly cautious,
but also understanding that
you're terrified for your children.
Yes, yeah. And
that is, and
my
also
kids
wanting them to navigate it.
Yeah,
and learn and get brave.
If this was riding 4-wheelers or being out on the boat or in the river or being around alligators, like my sons are perfectly comfortable with that because they grew up here, but they don't know rock climbing. So, but I don't want them to be the helicopter mom screaming.
How do you learn?
Don't do that, you know. So that kind of leads me, and maybe I'll. Because I know we got to take a break and do this interview, but we did this rock climbing adventure that kind of ties into the vertigo, and then me trying to impress the guide that we had.
I like the title of what you did, and I saw the guide, and I was like, oh, yeah, he tried to impress this guy. Because he had the beard. He had the big, tight beard.
Oh, yeah. Huge, better Moab mustache.
I don't know why it must be the hair color, but every time I turn to Sam, I want to call her Maisie for some reason.
How dare you.
But the beard that this guy had was, like, tight woven. It looked like felting, the craft. Mm-hmm. I mean, he has that big, tight...
Yeah, the stereotypical
Like, I know what the F I'm doing guy.
rock climbing guide from Moab. But so we did this rock climbing adventure, and I'll tell you about it.
It's
but
canyoneering, isn't it?
yeah, it's like rocketeering.
Rocketeering.
Yeah, it's just
please
like
say it right.
They
Because the name.
I don't like rocketeering.
Yeah, please say rocketeering.
What do you mean?
You please don't say, because you always do this. It's like when Seth's in here, you're like, let's do karate or let's do
Karate.
Yeah, you always want because rocketeering. You're right. It's kind of a dumb name, right? But
it's just rock climbing.
I just want to force you to say rocketeering because it does sound a little gay.
Yeah, no, I know. All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back with more Corporate Time.
All right, let me load up some voicemail messages.
All right.
Because these pile up now and again. And if you want to leave us one, it's never been easier. We have a brand new app. And,
two more things about the break room.
Yes.
First, Sam.
Yeah.
So I imagine when you, did you ever have, any coworkers that would see you eating and then take their break and then do the old small talk lunch? Because that's
I'm real
the
bad
worst.
about that. Because I try to leave you guys alone now. I don't even talk to Sam. As soon as I hear the China going in there, I'm like, turn it off. Turn it off.
China.
Like when I hear your glass or whatever, or I hear the microwave beep, I'm like, you shut the hell up.
Well, because I remember,
She wants her time.
when I was in Champs, there would be the occasional employee that while I was eating, he'd take the opportunity to sit down and just small talk
Was
BS
it
with me.
Vince wanted to be your best friend.
Not a Vince. No, Vince worked with me, so
You know
we
this is
knew.
going to get back to Vince. Right.
But it would be some, upfront employee that would. I'm going to be like, hey, dude, I only get 10 minutes. So you get a half an hour. I need to eat my Charlie's.
Have you ever said that to anybody?
What?
Hey, dude.
Has anybody ever
No,
been
I just sit there
bothering
and
you?
take it.
Yeah, I was like,
Take
have you
it.
ever turned to him and been like, hey, man,
No.
I'm sorry, but get the hell out of here. You've never given him the Schwentzes?
Extra polite the whole time. If they say, am I bothering you? I can leave. I say,
No,
please
no.
stay.
You know what?
You know
what?
I hate them.
This year,
I wish. Not only
I hate you.
I've never heard him say something that dramatic.
I wish the whole place was set on fire. Anything but
I wish
was
I wish
happening.
I was Great White
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
I was
Make me a
choking,
bird.
dying. Yeah. But I would
This
just
is
be
your
like,
year.
no.
This is your year,
I'm like,
dude.
please tell me some boring story that I've heard before.
This is your year. Moving into 2025, we are going to get you to tell one person that's annoying you to get the hell away from you. I can't wait.
So when Crystal worked for a trucking company, do you remember this?
Yes, I do. Was that over near the Florida Mall?
Yes, yeah.
I remember that.
It was like Dunder Mifflin in the fact that she and her coworkers worked in cubicles up front in the office.
Yeah.
But the whole back was a warehouse and then a
Didn't
trucking
you have
company.
a big chungus that fell in love with her?
God,
And he started leaving gifts on her chair or something?
what was that? That was a different.
Should I not be talking about that? I think there was a chungus stalker that was leaving gifts on Crystal's chair.
It happens.
I remember they called her the bird lady for a while. I told the story where she she complained because she was like, someone threw their lunch on my windshield.
Oh.
And they're like, what? And she's like, yeah, I went to leave work, and then there was someone's mayonnaise and mustard hot dog thrown on my windshield.
Oh, you got hot dogs.
Yeah, you got dogs.
And then the boss was like, oh, so they went and they all
Check the cameras.
They did an
Check the cameras.
investigation.
Yes.
They did an investigation
And-
like Dunder Mifflin.
Oh, my God.
And so then the boss
Got
was
a hot
watching
dog investigation?
and then they're fast forwarding it to see if they see her car and it's black and white. It's a stereotypical security camera and they're fast. And then they're like, oh, there it is, something happened. And they rewind it, and then they see a bird flying with a hot dog.
It's blasted
Oh, full hot dog?
And then it had it obviously picked
Trash.
it up from somewhere
It had
else.
the trash.
And then it landed on Crystal's hood. And then
What are the odds?
It dropped it,
Yeah.
and then it was eating it, and then it got spooked and flew away.
Yeah.
And then
And it left it there.
And then they started calling her the bird lady. And then the boss was like, every time he'd
Oh,
walk.
my gosh. You're being harassed.
I laughed and laughed. It's still my favorite memory. I still call her. Every once in a while, I'll walk by, she'll be eating lunch, and I'll do the bird. I'm like, ah! Oh, so good. Anyway, she she would go. The break room was back in like the middle common area, but all the truckers that would eat their lunch in the break room as well.
Daryl and the warehouse are all upstairs.
Yeah. And then the truckers would obviously have inappropriate conversations with each other. And
dude,
Crystal,
people at like jobs, they will just overshare personal information.
I didn't know. This is true. I did not know until this year inappropriate to say to a woman, kind of nipply out. I can't even keep us here.
No, I mean people will talk about like their spouse is cheating.
That's a good one, right?
Getting pregnant by somebody else.
I'm pretty sure my dad died saying pretty nipply out to every woman he met.
Because it's a passive aggressive way to say you notice a businesswoman's hard nipples.
Yeah, exactly. You can cut glass with those things.
Nothing better than to reference a coworker's hard nipples in your break room in a childish way.
Okay, sorry. I'm sorry. Voicemails. Yeah,
kind of cold out there.
Yeah, exactly. It's got a nipply in here. Hey. All right, here we go. Voicemails.
What's up, T&D? Shart and Randy here. Tom, your trip to Dead Horse State Park, you really missed out on what that name meant. Crystal really would have loved supporting that place if she knew that Dead Horse Point, the bend in the river, is where the old-timey Duttons used to take their horses to sort out which ones they wanted to keep and breed and which ones they just wanted to leave for dead out there on the cliff. They just let them sit there and bake in the sun until they died. And we named a state park after it. Humans are awesome. Also, Tom, pay your bet, or I'll leave you out on Dead Horse Point.
Oh, get him, Randy.
What's the bet?
Check the gambling page.
I think,
you owe him money.
You're right. You owe him money about
for the Hamlin thing.
Damar Hamlin. But I still he hasn't played. He hasn't played.
Yeah. He's played a couple special teams plays.
No. He hasn't played. Randy knows what I mean. What? And everyone listening knows what I mean. We're not doing a technicality on this. The guy's got to be a legitimate player. He's got to be.
That's not the bet that Tom made.
Yeah, I said he'd never be back on the field.
No. We're all men here. We know what men mean.
But what was the bet? He hasn't showed me all our shows are on the internet.
I think you need to have sex with Randy now or something, right?
Just send me some audio.
Send him an
bet.
email, Randy, so he knows how much he owes
if
you.
He was
go back and show me. I can't remember.
Kickoff. What did he do?
I mean,
trot down the field, 6 minutes, then walk off, take his helmet off, and that's it? I don't think that counts. I'm sorry. That doesn't count. That's not playing. That's not back to normal, back good as I was. That's not. It's not. If you want to take the money, take the money. If the bet's the bet, that's fine. But I think you're cheaping out. That's my opinion. Because we all know that when we made this bet, when we talked about Damar Hamlin playing back in the NFL, it was playing back the way that he was playing before the catastrophic injury, right? And if he's not going to do that, then you win the bet. That's my point. And he's not doing that. He's not.
But I think technically I said he just wouldn't be back on the field.
To me, that's not a real bet.
Yeah.
If you're just going, look, he came to practice one time to say hi to everybody. He was on the field. It feels very much like that.
Yeah,
it feels cheap.
I've been wrong a lot lately, so I have to admit when I'm wrong.
Barry Joe says I'm backpedaling. I'm not backpedaling. I think anybody that says, he went out there for one play and ran 7 steps, I think you're a bitch if you say that. That's what I think.
Well, no, I mean...
That was the bet Tom made.
No, I don't think, it's to play. He's going to play back in the NFL. That's the bet.
Yeah, he's on special teams. He's playing on the field during a play.
No, he's not. He's not.
He may have actually played safety. Maybe I don't think he did.
Everybody knows what I mean. They just don't want to admit it because it's become fun. Hey, Tom lost again. You guys are idiots. You're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. And if you take this bet, it's very, very cheap.
Well, I understand the enjoyment.
If it was the opposite, Tom would take the money.
No, yeah.
I didn't say he wouldn't. That's not the argument. That's not my argument.
Yeah, and as soon as he made the active roster, I would have claimed I won.
Right.
Which Randy should have. Although the weird thing about him not dressing and being on the sidelines, I was like, well, that's weird. Something else is weird's happening. But then he was running out there in special teams. I think they're just integrating him in slow.
See, DeBerry Joe says his feet were on the field during active play. Okay, hey, if that's the way you want to live your life, you're not a man if you say that. I don't think so. Not a man.
Back to Dead Horse State Park. So first, I like the fact that Crystal would be mad about some thing that happened in the 1700s. Like,
maybe
she's well aware that a lot of
what if there was a pile of
murder
bones?
and animal abuse were
pile of bones.
It's weird that back. I'm guessing this happened hundreds of years ago. That they'd waste horses like that. You would think that they'd use the horses for meat or other things, or just to sell to like the locals, so like some for food or something. Like, it's a giant animal.
Were they wild horses that they would then try to figure out which ones were the most usable and then tame them? I don't know much about horses. So
what he's saying is he basically they'd leave the ones that couldn't be used anymore for dead. I guess maybe if you're out in the middle of nowhere, it's better just to leave them than to expend the energy to take them somewhere else. But it seems like it's a giant animal that has to be worth something. It's kind of like a car. Like, your car's never worth zero. It's worth $300 at least in scrap metal.
Is it a moral sort of like you take them out there, right? And is it easier to part with them being out by the river than it is to just stand there and shoot them all? You see what I'm saying?
Well, I guess it's a waste of bullets, but
it's
also
like releasing a dog in the woods. Like, you got to take him out in the woods and release him.
Like, I know that you're a hardened real man, a Western real man out there, and you probably don't care, but you would think, like, a lot of these guys, they care about their horses, or they at least respect the fact that they work for them, right?
Well, the only category I can put in is hunting dog, because my grandpa had those, and he really cared for his hunting dogs.
But you would think that they'd at least stab him in the jugular or something.
Well, they were herding wild mustangs.
Okay.
So,
hey, that's what I said.
It says that the name primarily got its use of the point in the early 1800s as a corral of the herds of wild mustangs that Western explorers came upon during the explorations out west. These cowboys devised clever methods to trap these fast-footed animals by herding them into the narrow neck of the point and constructing simple juniper fences to corral the animals. In these corrals, they were able to sort the profitable, healthy steeds from the weaker, less desirable ones. The lesser ones are left behind, with some bands of horses ultimately dying from the dehydration in the hot Utah sun, with water within sight, but not within reach, approximately 2,000 feet below in the Colorado River. So they were herding, like, wild mustangs, and they can't take them all, so they're like, well, we're only going to take the healthy ones.
And then do they naturally stay there because they see and this is a true question, do they naturally
why not
stay
let
there?
them go? Like, you close the gates and you let them all die? Like, that's kind of a D-head move.
Yeah, why not let them go down to the river and drink, and then they can run around and just be horses?
It is probably something like, once you've herded them and put up the gates, maybe that they won't pass those again or something. Like,
it would be horrible if they said, we don't care and we just let them stand in the sun.
Yeah, but also, like, things hundreds of years ago were so hard that no one cared about anybody but themselves for the most part, is because, like, they're always on the brink of dying every second, and so it's just like, who cares? There's millions of horses, like, I don't care who gives, you know what I'm saying? Like,
until there aren't.
Like, right? I'm not even going to go open the gate because that's expending 10 calories that I don't care about.
Right,
I don't know.
Right. Or maybe it was hard to open the gate because she had tuberculosis. I don't know what these people were dealing with, right?
Yeah.
Let's try this one. I think a couple of weeks ago, pardon me, we were talking about faking your own death.
What's up, Mediocre Crew? This is Eric. I was listening to the Friday Free Show with Big Tim and Ross in the room, and you guys were talking about different ways that Tom could fake his death. You're talking about going up in the mountains, or out in the woods, or diving, or out on the boat. And what you failed to think about is, all of those scenarios, Tom is likely to kill himself accidentally anyway. So, there's that.
Well, I think that's the joke we made. I'll kill myself faking my own death. I'll die faking my own death.
I stay up and think about that late at night, but I never get past... I'm stuck in this rut, not of faking my own death, but when I do think about it, it's usually I get in the car and then I just drive someplace and I park and then I live in a hotel and I'm away from my family and I'm like, I'm starting a new, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like I'm really trying to hide from everybody.
You just want to start new.
Yeah, I just want to start new.
Yeah. It would be nice if you think about it. Like, just I need some money to start. I can't start from nothing.
Yeah.
You're like,
can I keep my
too
money?
weak.
I mean, that is the good thing with me and Andrea having separate bank accounts. I mean, it's gonna be hard to split up the everything we own together. But with the separate bank accounts,
Yeah.
a little easier.
Yeah.
She can't get in mine. I can't get in hers.
Yeah, you take like 10,000, and then you just go to some other state, and then you'll follow
make
your
up
family on
something.
Facebook.
You
You'll
would
see what they're
just-
doing.
I don't think I would.
I don't
think I would follow
It would make
them.
you sad. You're like, oh,
Yeah. I'd follow like
abandoned.
some of you guys, and then I'd see like you guys trying to hold the show together somehow. I wonder how they're doing.
I'm really good at not thinking about something.
That's good. That's good. Write that down. Put that in the group. That's good.
So if like I could, I could never leave my friends and family, this company, screw everybody, but if I had to, or I did do that, I could probably actively just like, don't think about what you've done.
I've thought of that too.
And then I think I could go my whole life without
Yes.
it, without feeling the burden of what I've done, and just be like, oh, just get out of your head.
Oh my
All
God,
right.
dude,
There's
we're
a lot of murderers.
We're on the same page. I've thought about that. I was like, could you turn your back on Tom and Sam? And I'm like, I could. It would be very difficult, but I would just have to not think about it and just pretend like you guys don't exist anymore.
Then I'd slowly justify it by being like, they were against me anyway.
Okay.
Right,
Yeah.
And then
All
it'd be
right.
like, remember that time?
I would just say I'm
started
crazy.
making-
Sorry, I'm crazy. It was either this.
Oh, yeah, that's
it
the
was
Pete
either this or
Davidson
pull the
bullshit.
fire
All the time.
extinguishers. Either this or pull the fire extinguishers on an Alaskan airline. I was either going to do one of the two. I was either going to destroy the show or pull the fire extinguishers on the engines on an Alaska Airlines flight.
I hope one day we're recording and all of a sudden you start just mashing buttons. And then I'll go and grab you and
Zip tie me. Sam zip ties me.
And they were like, we've subdued Daniel. we continue the show.
Twitch is still watching us.
And then we'll put a camera on you.
Oh,
We'll just
you know what
keep
that
doing the
reminds me
show.
of? We need to do something like that on our live streams because there was nothing more fun to watch than that time that Andy Dick was live streaming and some
yeah.
guy got a gun.
What is this?
You don't remember this? It was like during the middle of the pandemic. I think Andy Dick was on some drug bender and he was live streaming and there was like a guy with a gun and they had like an altercation and a fight. And it was all on live stream.
Was he in public or is it just in his house?
I think he was in his house or an apartment that he lived with a roommate.
Okay.
That's how you know people really are successful when they have roommates. Especially if they're like, in their
Yeah.
50s and 60s. And they're like,
You've been
"Here are
on
my
TV shows."
My four roommates. I was on news talk radio. What is that, news radio? That show was a 90s hit.
And then you've got some other middle-aged 47-year-old roommate.
You're 58 years old and you have 5 roommates in L.A. Oh, my God. All right, hold on. Let me find another one. This one... All of these pertain to things that basically you have said don't exist anymore, but they do.
Are there any really successful people with roommates? Like any of our listeners, do you think any of them that do have roommates are one of them successful?
No.
Like none of them?
No.
Like what if a doctor just wanted some company?
Doctor roommate.
No, I'm just saying, like you're a doctor.
What do you consider successful?
Like you make,
not having roommates.
Like you make
is successful.
Yeah,
Right?
you make enough to not have roommates.
Well,
but you choose to.
I choose to have roommates because I love people.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right, hold on.
Like you don't need to have a roommate. You choose to because why not? You like
for
you have,
companionship.
Yeah. Just like you have
I'm
another.
sure there's at least one.
You have another dude or chick that lives with you, and they're just like, why not?
What's happened to you? You've been using dude like a madman today.
In cities, that happens. Like Broad City, like the two friends. Although they weren't successful, right?
They were deadbeats.
Yeah. So
they were like, normally any of the sitcoms I watch, whether it's roommates, it's like, remember New Girl with Zooey Deschanel?
Yeah, I never watched
They all had roommates. There was like 4 roommates, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think any of them were
Well, I don't know, man. The
successful.
way Florida prices are now, there probably are some roommates out there.
I think if Crystal ever leaves me and
You're going to need a roommate.
Yeah, I would need a roommate.
Okay, you ready?
You and Tully.
You ready for my hot take?
Tully,
You ready for my hot take? As a chirper, I very much enjoyed roommates. I'm a roommate guy. I'm like, hey guys,
Yeah, but
I got Girls Gone Wild. Who
not
wants to
me.
come into the main room and watch Girls Gone Wild? Everybody's in. I'm cooking for everybody.
Had one
I'm making
roommate and it was a
sandwiches.
nightmare.
I hope there's in like some another part of the world. There's like your old roommates. I mean, I used to live with this guy. Damn,
crazy.
Never
No, they
shut the
listen.
hell up.
They listen.
I couldn't get any peace.
They listen. My buddy Paul, who he's still in Jacksonville. My buddy Chris, he's in Chicago.
All I wanted to do was eat my sub and pizza, and Daniel wouldn't stop talking to me.
I did get into a couple of fights with my roommates, namely with Chris in Chicago, because he would leave used condoms under the bed in the master bedroom, and it would make the entire master bedroom smell like fish. So I took his Sultan sandwich maker. Remember those little Sultan sandwich makers where you take 2 pieces of white bread and then you could put like spaghetti sauce and mozzarella in there and then put another piece of bread on top of it. It would make a pizza pocket. It would like glue the bread together and make a little pocket.
Oh, like make it uncrustable?
Yeah,
or-
make like an Uncrustable. And that was Chris's little Sultan sandwich maker. And because he left the used condoms under the bed, I took the sandwich maker and I threw it into the St. Augustine Ocean.
Oh, that's a harsh penalty.
Well, I'm a harsh man.
Was it a community room?
Yeah, well, we were going to switch out. And I was going into the master bedroom and I was like, dude, you didn't even clean up in here. I went to sleep in the master bedroom and I'm talking an egregious amount. We're talking like 40, 42, you know.
That's a lot of
Scumbags under there. A lot of scumbags.
like after a while.
Yeah.
Although, I'm not going to talk about that. Okay, I will talk about it. So I bite my nails.
Dude, when people
Where's this going?
I think when people listen to this show, they're like, we like to listen to the horrible guys.
And so I'll bite my nails, and then
I bite mine too.
And sometimes I'll like pick my toenails. This is real
I'm gonna
disgusting.
throw
I pick my toenails until they bleed.
You don't even wash your feet.
But then
you pick your toenails.
I used to pick the dirt off of them.
But it's not the dirt. It's like actually the nail part.
Yeah,
It'll
do you
like come off.
peel it off?
Yeah,
until it bleeds?
Oh my god!
yeah,
I peel it till mine bleeds.
And then I'll be like, oh, I gotta get rid of this. And then
I throw
there's-
it on the ground.
No,
behind
my couch.
Yeah, behind the couch.
Ew, there's a graveyard of toenails behind your couch.
And then
Let's go there for a go-to show.
And then one time, this may have been going on for like quite a while.
Okay.
And
Is this a confession for you?
And then Crystal dropped something between because
The soap.
There's a shelf back there, but there's an area between both shelves that I call my toenail drop.
You're a child.
It's the drop.
This is
It's
what
the toenail
children
drop.
do.
And then,
By the way, I don't want him to die on this hill. I pull my toenails and throw them all around the dentist living room. I mean,
just haphazard?
I throw them like boomerangs everywhere. I throw them everywhere.
And,
Because Dansby will eat them because he loves me.
and then so Crystal went back there with her cell phone light to get.
why'd you do that?
to
What'd
get
you
man.
the
do
charger,
for?
like a charger fell or whatever.
Oh, no,
and then she's like, "Oh my god!" And then
There's
I'm like,
maggots.
and she's like, "What? Are your toenails back here?" And then I'm like, "No, I just threw a couple." And then she's like,
couple.
No,
and
never admitted. That's like having
You're a
one beer and you
child.
tell the cop you were drinking.
And then she's like, "Get over here and look at this." And then
Did you take a photo?
A mountain of toenails.
Too embarrassing,
It's
right?
so much
How many do you think?
that
40.
I don't know.
Years
How many
of
scumbags?
toenails.
It's
How
so
many
many.
scumbags?
It's so many, and it was embarrassing. And I was like, "Oh my
Did
god!"
you vacuum it up?
No, I said.
it.
I said I was. I think I told her I did. I told her I did.
And then you just keep doing it. I like
can't
Oh
stop.
my
I like
God,
that.
dude.
I can't stop, won't stop.
Eventually, I'll vacuum him up, but and they're not hurting anybody. It's just
No.
disgusting.
It's the.
And
it
I'll
used to
admit-
be worse when I had carpet because they would stay.
Oh yeah. Oh,
But now that I have tile from At Home Floor Store, I can kick the toenails under the couch so you can't see them because they slide on the tile. In the carpet, you can't kick them.
a memory Crystal who used to remembered from her childhood is she'd lay on a carpet and then her back would get stabbed
From her dad's-
toenails.
I did this. I'm her dad. I do this.
And they were like big, thick
Yeah.
Mel Gibson.
Yeah, big yellows. Yeah.
He'd throw them in the carpet.
They look like, but they're so big and yellow, they look like banana runts. That's disgusting. I shouldn't
What
have
is
said that.
wrong
It looks like
with
a
you
banana
people?
runt. Looks like you're peeling banana runts off your toes.
stab her back
Yeah.
when you roll around as a kid.
Yeah. That's
Trauma.
love. That's love when your dad's nails stab your back.
All right.
Isn't that how Chunks got a staph infection in
Is
the
it?
studio?
Yeah, well, that's mainly of the disgusting radio
I think there were
carpet.
toenails on the carpet,
Yeah,
he said.
yeah,
I think
there
he
were.
literally
There were.
said that.
Yeah, when I get really nervous, when the anxiety kicks, I mean, look at my.
I mean, there's boogers and nails everywhere around here, right?
Well,
Oh, not boogers. No.
Her
no.
Majesty
him.
cleans
Oh,
as
Cough
well.
boogers everywhere.
You know what? I stand corrected. I apologize. I forgot about that. You have a booger problem.
He has a booger problem.
You
We
coughed
have
a booger out.
Cleaning company that cleans.
They don't clean the
place very
boogers,
well.
though. I've been
no,
looking
they
and they're-
vacuum.
No, they don't. Dude,
Look, there's nothing. This
They
carpet's
need to
so
wash.
clean.
They need to wash the carpet. It's
Yeah,
got.
it's got to get
No.
deep
It's
cleaned
got
at this
some,
point.
and then
Look how
Remy,
clean.
I'm
I'll
gonna
eat
call him
off
out.
this.
Then Remy dropped all the pizza we got from Pizza Bruno. I saw you right there. There's stains right over
Pizza.
there. Yeah, Remy was dropping Pizza Bruno on the ground.
Was he eating over here?
Where wasn't he eating?
Yeah, that's he had pizza sauce on his shoes.
Yeah,
Like, he's
he did. That's how I
walking
knew.
around
That's how I knew.
on a pizza.
Yeah.
All right.
Got pizza shoes.
We will see you tomorrow. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We are currently live streaming on Twitch and YouTube, and you can join us every single weekday. Just search on Twitch at Tom and Dan Live or YouTube at Tom and Dan Live. Samantha, our producer's here. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
Should we go right into our weird job?
Well, I like to give you guys a choice. Well, you know what? I'm not going to give you guys a choice. I'm going to play. I did a song, and then the listener songs are coming in droves. So, hey, if you're a
Okay.
listener and you want to do a Weird Job Wednesday song, and I will reward you with a prize from Eric the Merchman. It's not going to be much, because, come on, can't get crazy. But yeah, I'll send you a prize for your hard work, but I made one. I'm trying to pick the hottest songs in the country and keep us hip, and this is the hottest song in the country right now. Let's go! Let me tell you. You my little slam hole, working on a Wednesday like a fast life, girl, I know. You be hating your job and be hating your boss at the BK, girl, I know. Tell him your job. Tell him you're a bit of overworked fast life, I know. Tell him your job. Tell him you're my sexy little slam hog, girl, I know. You my little slam hole, working on a Wednesday like a fast life, girl, I know. You be hating your job and be hating your boss at the BK, girl, I know. Tell him your job. Tell him you're a bit of overworked fast life, I know. Tell him your job. Tell him you're my sexy little slam hog, girl, I know. All right, that's a good one.
Here's how the magnet pulls. When that started, I thought that was going to be the 90s song That's Just My Baby's Daddy because they sampled that
Yes,
intro.
yes, they do.
And the guy that sings that song just died like 2 days ago.
Really?
I swear to God. What are the odds?
Yeah, what are the
Did
odds of
I
that?
kill him with my song?
That was good, Daniel.
Thank you.
I like
Appreciate that.
yeah.
That was a bop.
Yeah, that is a bot, man. It's an earworm.
Justin's on the line. How you doing, Justin?
Pretty good.
So, Justin, what is your weird job?
I am a plumber for NASA.
All right.
For Netflix.
NASA.
Oh, I thought he was a plumber for Netflix. I was like, whoa.
So
For Love is Blind.
I was like, that's a
real
weird
messy.
job.
you are a NASA plumber. It'd be funny if you just worked at the visitor center and you just
Right.
worked on
I hope that's what it is.
It's just like any other plumber, really. Just work for the company.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right. So you're just a plumber.
It's mostly tourist doo-doo.
Oh, that's bad.
So what does that mean, NASA plumber?
Well, we do work at on occasion at the visitor center, but that's part of NASA property. The job is as mundane and straightforward as any other residential and commercial plumber's job, but it could vary from that all the way up to, when the Artemis rocket was on the pad and we were going through all of that, brushing up against the Artemis rocket on the pad the day before, a day or two before it takes off, safing the fire systems, getting everything in order. Because as a plumber, like today, I could be fixing some toilets, some sinks, and tomorrow I'll be working in a lab where they're designing, systems for growing plants on the space station, hooking up the water for the RO systems and the DI systems. So our job is pretty straightforward, but you get to work around some really cool stuff.
So I think that's neat. So you have sort of, do you get to, okay, here's my question. When you're working in there, do they have to brief you on anything you're working around as if to warn you about, things you can't at all touch or get near? Is it that delicate at all? Or are there instances where you have stuff that's that delicate or situations rather?
Yes. they don't exactly. I guess they do brief you before, but it's pretty well known. And most of the situations in some of the high bays or areas where, like, the Orion capsule is being, made, you're trained to be, in smocks, pretty much geared up to where you're not going to leave any dust behind or anything like that. But being a plumber, I mean, just the fire system. So we have to get into every single building that exists out here just because of the fire system. So that kind of makes us kind of a jack of not all trades, but it allows us to see some pretty cool stuff.
Sure, yeah. You have a lot of access, rather.
Well, what's funny is that anytime someone says plumber, I immediately think doo-doo pipes.
Yeah, of course.
And then that's all
Mario is too.
Yeah. Like, I think plunger, like you're holding a plunger.
Yeah. I think
plunging doo-doo.
Yeah, a butt crack.
Any plumber, I only think of doo-doo. I think I even minimize pee at this point. I think I'm doo-doo only.
But I forget that you all the other plumbing that's involved with pipes and water.
But I feel like I can do that. Now, this is wrong, but I do feel like regular, like, water, like I'm drinking it, I can do. Doo-doo.
It's all the same pipes.
Doo-doos. I know, but
who cares
I'm
just traveling through the pipes?
I'm just telling you my misinformation. I feel like irrigation, drinking water, that's all me. But poo-poo, you got to go with the plumber.
Justin, real quick, what's a pipe fitter? Because anytime I hear someone say they're like, A16 pipe fitter union, and then I'm like, pipe fitter, what is that?
That usually makes me think you're dumb.
Like, what is a pipe fitter? I'm like, well, that's got to be in the Venn diagram of plumbing.
Well, you would think you'd look at two pipes and be like, that would fit. Pipe fitter.
Why are you saying you're not a plumber and you're a pipe fitter? Seems like the same thing.
I'm going to be embarrassed for this. I've been licensed going on almost 20 years now. I couldn't give you the correct definition for a pipe fitter.
No, don't be embarrassed of that. No, hold on a second.
Hold on, you should be embarrassed.
No, he shouldn't, because he's telling you, he knows his limitations, and he doesn't want to lie, and he doesn't want to look stupid. He could toe bite us. You know that what I call toe biting is when he just makes up some answer that's totally pulling it out of his rear end.
Well,
I respect the fact that you're like, I don't know that. I respect that.
I guess
I do know that I can do what a pipe fitter can, but a pipe fitter can't do what a plumber does. I do know that aspect.
Like a man witch.
Well,
for the most part,
like a warlock.
I was about to, start yelling at you that you didn't know what a pipe fitter was. But if someone asked me, could you go to the studio tomorrow without Daniel and record just 5 seconds of something and put it out on a podcast? No, I couldn't do it. No. Like
he couldn't figure out how to get his medical marijuana card.
I honestly, then someone would be like, "You've been in podcasting for 15 years and you couldn't."
You don't think you could? You don't think if I gave you I think you could. I believe in you more.
To be able to post and publish it? No way.
Oh, okay. That he couldn't do.
I would have to look at long YouTube videos and like.
You get distracted the whole time looking at your phone.
I could, over the course of an entire day, find a YouTube video explaining how to post a video or a podcast on Libsyn, go through the whole thing. But I shouldn't be able to just come in here and do it real quick after 15 years of doing it.
Both of us. It's like me in there. I'm like, I sit down at your desk. I don't even know what's what.
No. I mean, it's just fresh books. You put that. Sam does that. I don't even know what I do.
I don't either.
Don't really do that much at all.
We were both talking about this.
Sorry, Justin or whatever your name is.
Justin.
Oh my God.
So, how did you become a NASA plumber?
Well, I actually was doing I have a couple plumbing companies, and I moved to Merritt Islands and started up just a one-man show myself, just to kind of kill time while the wife was pregnant.
Like an OnlyFans thing where you was that just a masturbation for gay dudes?
No, just no employees, just me in a van.
Oh, I thought you were doing the old Simon Rex where it's like, as long as I'm not having sex with guys, I can give this content to anybody.
And a customer of mine worked out here. He worked at a different department. He was basically a guy that distributes some certain things. I forgot his job title, and he made mention to me because we had struck up a conversation. But that's where it started. And I kind of I've always done my own thing. I've never worked for anybody else. And
You're a loner, Dottie.
And so I ended up just applying just to kind of get the interview, get a feel of it, and I love it out here.
That's awesome.
It took me a while because once you work for yourself for so long, there's a bit of depression or second guessing.
Oh yeah, going through that right now.
But the pay is really decent. The hours, and this is basically what the guys say. You come out here as a plumber or electrician or anything like that. It's basically you're set for retirement. I mean, it's kind of laid back, easy environment. So, which makes life.
It doesn't. Do you have any things that, like, a lot of people feel the pressure of, like, deadlines and stuff like that?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like an easy environment. It seems like NASA, in what it's been portrayed,
it's slow.
But it's also high pressure in the fact that you're launching rockets. And you're dealing with things that are serious. Yeah. Like if they go wrong, they could kill people.
The butt rockets.
Yeah. I was the worst case scenario is one of these rockets goes sideways into Cocoa Beach.
I'd be okay with Cocoa Beach. Just stay away from downtown Orlando.
You know what I'm saying? Like I know they have they have self-destruct. They blow them up in the air.
Yeah, but what if they self-destruct in the subdivision?
Yeah,
oh man, that's bad.
But you're launching rockets into space. It seems high pressure. There's a lot of money on the line, like billions of dollars, and so it's always been portrayed to me as the engineers and everybody working on these projects. They have deadlines. They have
they sweat blood because they're freaking out all the time. They wear black rim glasses. They have a traditional haircut. They wear tan slacks. They wear a short sleeve dress shirt with a skinny black tie, and they're always holding their head, waiting for. They're like, "Are they there? Are they there? They landed. All right, on to the next mission."
Yeah. So.
Is that pretty good?
But you're describing it to us as it's laid back. I mean, I guess as the local NASA plumber,
it's describing it as if you play in the band Sublime.
It has its moments. Of course, I'm not so far up on the food chain, or I should say, we aren't, unless they're stacking or building the rocket in the VAB. Making sure that all the systems, the fire systems, the daily systems are in order. Or if, say, the rocket is out on the pad ready to launch, we have to make sure everything is in order. That's when it gets stressful. But most of the people out here have been here for years that work in our plumbing shop, and so the stress isn't really the same stress you get from the outside. It's like, all right, I have a job to do. I do it, and the crew that NASA has as a whole, everyone out here is like a 10 out of 10 when it comes to knowing what they're doing, knowing how to do it, and then getting it done, or at least being able to pull the resources.
Serious question. How much larger than the average human are astronaut turds?
I feel like they'd be smaller. They eat that dehydrated food.
Yeah, are their turds smaller than our turds or bigger than our turds?
Let's put it this way. I've never unclogged a toilet in the astronaut quarters. So.
See?
Well,
thanks for calling, then.
Well, they're all type A, the former military.
Eat healthy.
They are.
Stay hydrated.
There hasn't been one slobby Horatio Sands astronaut. Not one. Not skinny Horatio. I'm talking big, fat...
I feel like most of them are on the
grooming.
spectrum, and they're like dead inside, no emotion. Except for that one with the diaper trying to kill her.
Well, that was she went over. She went
It's
over.
always an anomaly.
Yeah,
I blame that on her being a woman.
Yeah, weak. Couldn't control her own mind.
I'm sorry. Now, what's the weirdest thing you've had to do as a NASA plumber?
Tampon.
Well.
Did he just barf?
No, it's probably my headphones.
Okay.
I worked EGS, which is third shift, about a year ago when the Artemis rocket was out at the pad and they were having troubles and what have you. So that was 11 p.m. till 7 a.m., but I worked completely by myself. And I had the whole run of NASA property, basically, because I would have to be on standby for that rocket if anything were to go wrong as far as fire or anything they needed help with the pump house or anything like that. So I had a lot of down.
It's like astronaut turd Home Alone. You can do whatever you want. You're running around the rockets and.
It was, but the cool thing is that I would get some work orders to kind of fill time while I'm waiting. And there's a ton of nightlife. There's wildlife out here, boars.
I was about to say, you partying up in NASA?
But some of the buildings that I had to do some work orders in were pretty creepy. And I would say that would be the most, weird thing, because the rest of the stuff is pretty. I'm going to bore you to death with the regular stuff, pulling hair or out of the sink or tampons or whatever else. But the buildings, I mean, they kind of creep me out. There was a couple of them that I probably just, I just turned around, walked out, and did something else, just because there's no one in it. They're doing weird stuff. It's a laboratory, and there's rooms that.
There got to be an
you gotta
alien
get the
laying
secrets,
around
man. Get the secrets.
Yeah.
Got to be an alien.
What are you, a baby? I thought you were a real man plumber.
This is why we're talking to you.
You went into
Tell me about the aliens.
I could see that happening in Tom's face. I could see Tom getting mad at you.
You went into the dark building. You're like, oh, you ran out. Like,
I only like to do the lit turds.
like every plumber I know, they do their plumbing in the dark. It's fine. They go to abandoned buildings.
Most of the plumbers I know cheat on their wives. Sure, they do.
Why? They're not afraid of anything.
They're not afraid of anything. They're not even afraid of their old Italian wife hitting them over the head with a rolling pin.
Some of these are massive warehouses, and I maybe I've never been in. I don't know how to turn on the lights, because there would be, you'd walk into one. It's kind of hard to difficult to explain, but I mean that one was a warehouse, and I think it's where they I don't know, the coating metals or altering.
That's where they keep the ghost of Neil Armstrong.
Yeah, exactly. So I just hightailed it out of there, but I couldn't I couldn't see there being any danger out here at all, other than the wildlife. I think that's the most dangerous thing out here.
What do you got out
You're
there?
wrangling an astronaut turd and a scorpion bites you and you're dead.
There are a lot of wild boars. Gators are everywhere. I mean, this is a wildlife sanctuary that NASA is built in and around and on. So,
They should put a chicken in they should leave a trail of raw chicken to a rocket and then let some gators go into the rocket, and then they're like, shut the door, and they shoot them up into the space.
Shoot a gator into space.
Yeah, just shoot it into space. There's nothing more Florida than leading a trail of chicken to the rocket. The gator gets in, you slam the door like a trap, shoot him to the moon.
Why did they name that rocket Artemis?
I don't like that name.
Like,
It reminds me of Artemis Pyle from Leonard Skinner. Didn't look him up.
But
Look it up.
They named some rockets Titan, right?
Yeah.
That's a cool rocket name.
Yeah,
the Titan 3 is on the launch pad, and you're like, oh, a Titan. That's
If
cool.
my wife's ass was a rocket, it'd be named Lucen.
But why go from Titan to Artemis? Like, hey, what's
It's the goddess of wild animals.
Yeah, but there's so many. There's Zeus. Name it Zeus.
Just
That's
name
another.
it. Go back.
Artemis.
We want some goddesses in here, man.
Name it. Don't name it something majestic. Name it Bad Mother Effer or something. Like, make it, I don't know, name it LeBron.
But there's a lot of other female gods.
She's the twin sister of Apollo.
Apollo. That's another good rocket name.
We've already done Apollo.
I like Apollo.
Yeah, but just name it Apollo 37 or whatever.
Dude,
They got
I met a white Scotty dog. Scotty dogs, the black dogs. I met a white Scotty dog yesterday named Apollo. I didn't even know they made white Scotty dogs. I was like, is that a Westie? She's
Artemis
like, no.
is the daughter of Zeus.
Zeus's daughter.
Yeah.
It just-
Real whore.
The name sounds stupid,
I
right?
like it.
It's nerdy. Artemis.
I want them like boat names. I want like Bad Mother Effer. I want like Wild Child.
But there's just tons of other cooler sounding god names.
I want
if you
like
want to go with that
Grave
theme.
Digger. I want something fun.
So, Justin.
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, like, when it comes to the fire suppression systems, do you ever feel the pressure of, like...
wanting to pull them when you're on mushrooms?
No. No. If it's just like, hey, if this doesn't work, like, people's lives could be on the line. Because for most plumbers, I feel like that isn't in the equation.
That's why they
like,
call it practicing plumbing.
Like, if this goes bad, doo-doo's going to fill up your house. But it's not, no one's going to die. But you're working on a fire system, like, there could be future astronauts in these rockets that need... I mean, this has happened before where people
Astronauts
have
have
died.
burned alive,
on the launch pad.
It's the scariest thing.
It is, but they're, once again, NASA, I think, is probably one of the safest places to work. All of the fire systems that, that people that are in buildings that people inhabit and not are checked almost every week. They're put through some of them are every week. So the systems are ran through quarterlies, weeklies, monthlies, and yearlies, and so they're checked so often that it's redundant.
Do you guys have these sprinkler suppression systems that are in like buildings like that style?
Yeah.
Because I have those in my home. We have those here at the studio. I've never seen one. I've only seen in movies where you do that and then it floods and then you end up fighting the bad guy at the end, in the rain.
I've never in my whole life.
I've never seen one.
I've never seen one go off.
I mean, that's a good thing, right? Where
I did at the hotel I stayed in last year at Fest, and it flooded the entire lobby.
Did you see it actually going off?
Yeah.
That's
not good.
You check that off your bucket list.
Okay, so
who's ever seen that?
That's not on my bucket list,
that's
but
pretty
okay.
good. I would put that a little higher than Grand Canyon or Arches. I would.
Can you set them off with a lighter like you see in the movies?
Or by hitting it with a broomstick?
Yeah, you can by hitting it with a ladder or a broomstick.
It's just wax, right? So isn't it like wax in there?
No, it's a glass. It looks like a little tiny glass vial which will hold back the actuator. I'm a little rusty on the fire terminology, but there's. Yeah, it's not wax. It's glass.
Let's smack that one right there. If we smack that one, if I smack one good, does it turn them all on or just the one I smack?
Depends on the system. Do you have is it a dry system or is it wet?
It's wet.
Is it pressurized?
It's a pressurized wet.
No, I don't even think it's hooked up to anything.
Yeah, I don't either. I think they just mounted it in the drop down.
There's no way.
Just for show.
Yeah, there's no way our landlord has serviced this in the past 10 to 15 years.
I have.
What do you mean?
They leave a note on your door, and then they tell you when you got to be here to let them in, and then they check your things. And they normally come in the mornings when I'm here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they've only done it once. It's supposed to happen more often, but we have had it done.
And then, like, some third-party inspector comes?
It's a fire person.
Okay.
It's from Orlando Fire Department.
Yeah.
As a courtesy for, I guess, Baldwin, because we are within Orlando proper, and the guy, he had the full thing on.
They pay him to do that.
Oh, yeah, of course. But I'm just saying, because we're in Orlando proper, we're under their jurisdiction. He has the big leather thing with the walkie-talkie. He walks in. All they do is look at him. They don't, it's not like...
How much do you think you get paid for that? The $150 for a service call. You look at
No, they just walk in. What they do is they walk in, they look at them, they look at that one, look at that one, then they sign a paper to make sure they walk to your building, and then they leave. That's
a good job.
Not bad.
So, easy money.
It's us, Dan.
Tom,
I got a message. I got a message from people that said that they liked me keeping them on their toes. We got an email about that. They liked it, so I'm doing it again. I'm keeping them on their toes.
Oh, yeah, the different intro every time.
I got a guy. He's like,
Well, we already do a different intro for the show.
Can you find the email, Sam? It's one of the new ones I gave you. No. This is great because it proves exactly what I was saying. So this guy in the email starts talking about how he's created this game in his brain that he will try to guess which one of us is going to start the show every time he listens to ACT. Take it away, Sam.
Yo, Dan. Pertaining to the ACT shows, I've been mulling over the idea of betting myself who will do the intro. It's a fun little game I like to imagine to play. On today's show, Tuesday, October 24th, right before I clicked play, I seriously said to myself, okay, this time I'm seriously going to bet myself as to who announces themselves first and does the intro. I landed hard on choosing Tom for starting it off today, and then I was hit with the different intro for the sake of keeping the listeners on their toes. You 100% inadvertently, coincidentally kept me on my toes at the beginning of Tuesday's episode. Touché, sir.
I'm 5'2". If I'm going to be on my toes, you're going to be on your toes. That's the way it goes.
So, different intro every time?
No. Just when you
every
least
once
expect
in a while, you got to throw it in there.
Every once in a while. In fact, I got the one that I really have flagged is the one where Sam starts the show. Can't wait for that.
Yeah, that's happened before.
I did that at least once.
But we're going to do it again. We're just like to pepper them in
But
there.
you'll never know when it's going to happen.
Yeah, you never know. Keep them on their toes.
So, before we started the show, and
we've been all over the place today.
Yeah. So, full disclosure, this show is not being aired on terrestrial radio because...
So we can say...
Can I curse?
You can, but the problem is that we distribute the show through a Libsyn hosting site that we label everything.
I already know
for
the
AC.
answer to this. I don't even know why I asked that.
Now we can distribute it through the AMT site
Yeah,
and then curse.
No. It's fine.
I know,
It's fine.
you know,
Don't need it.
We curse on all the other shows.
Yeah,
so
yeah. And we come very close on ACT. I mean, some would say the innuendo on ACT
Worse.
is worse than the F word on AMT.
Some would say we left the Exorcist scene in.
Don't talk about
Some
it.
would
It's
say
not
that.
on radio.
Some would say that, yeah.
And then
Someone's listening,
And
though.
then we had to go
No one's listening.
cover our tracks.
Nothing ever happened. You guys don't know nothing.
I remember the one time Daniel screamed out MF.
Yeah, there was that one time.
That happened, yeah,
I'm glad
that-
you flagged that to bring it up later.
It's so long ago that I mean, there was like about 8 years. Anyway,
It's fine.
nothing matters. So anyway, but we're doing this anyway for the podcast and for our listeners
the listeners.
that listen to the podcast only, which is a lot of you.
Yeah, it is a lot. It's the majority of you.
Yeah, or we have no idea who listens to us on the radio because there's no real numbers that anybody could even provide for us. We just have to go by. So a lot of people or something.
At least some.
We see some people out there that to tell us like I listen to the radio
Right,
only,
okay.
and then we get that we're like all right, but there's no really way to quantify it.
No,
which is
no.
insane.
We
by
can't
the
even
way.
get close. We can't even get close.
No, it's.
Yeah.
I mean, how
we're like Stevie Wonder. We just see shapes. We don't really, we can see light and shapes. We know there's somebody
man
there.
sees.
We know that there's something there, but we don't know the details.
honestly, if someone said you would have to get within 10,000 listeners,
Oh, couldn't do it.
I would have no idea even to start.
Couldn't even come close.
If they said,
Why? I don't know, why'd you even put that in my brain? It's like stressing me out. So anyway, what were we talking about?
Speaking of radio, when I interned for you guys when you were on the radio.
Sometimes I forget that, and then I looked at my phone, and you're still in my phone as Samantha Rogers.
Yeah, that's...
In my phone is
So
that.
I was also Samantha Rogers at my eye doctor last week, and they're like, "Who the hell is this?" I was like, "I got married."
I completely. I looked at that, and for a split second, you've been with us so long. I looked at it, I go, who the hell is Samantha Rogers? And then I started thinking, was that the old intern from the Hideout? Because there was a
It's the
Hideout.
girl that ate the apple through the fence. I heard that in the Monsters this morning.
That's true.
There was a Hideout intern named Samantha.
Oh, really?
And then Chunks would feud with her and say that she smelled like fish on the air, and they would
That
fight.
was not me.
Yeah. But I'm just like, who the hell was that? Anyway.
That's a good one.
I missed that.
The old you smell like fish.
Ah, damn.
Mr. Weather.
It cuts to the chase.
Write that down.
Yeah, it's harsh.
But I interned for you guys, and one of the guests that came in was, Jimmy Van Zandt?
Jimmy Van Zandt, he is the
And
current...
he had some kind of deal with moon pies, and he gave us all a box of moon pies
Moon
signed
pie
by
brand.
him.
Moon pie brand
Yeah.
moon pies. Not just moon pies, because
Correct.
I believe Walmart makes moon pies. These
So
were
does Little Debbie. That's what brought it up, because we were
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about fudge rounds.
And these are moon... But you
Well,
want to see...
you told you were like, remember when the guy from
Leonard
Skinner signed the box of moon pies? We were
Yeah,
like,
I thought
have
you were on
gone crazy.
mushroom. She was on mushroom. She was trying to pull the fire retardant for the engine.
I'm not crazy. You're crazy.
Yeah,
And then
You guys just don't remember
and
nothing.
they were like, oh yeah, and then he was
Yeah.
doing some. What the hell was
And
it?
okay, so Jimmy Van Zandt, singer currently, I believe, with Leonard Skinner, came into the morning radio show to plug not only Leonard Skinner, but I believe an appearance he was doing for moon pie brand moon pies.
Correct.
And he signed a box of moon pies and he gave it to Samantha. And Samantha
Yeah.
gave it to her mom and she ate them.
They were delicious.
And then Sam, quick fingered a commercial that Jimmy Van Zandt is in for moon pies. And you said, save it because there's nothing I like than dumb old men trying to act. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Because this is outside of Jimmy Van Zandt's
Yeah.
lane.
and it says the good old days.
Yeah, he's normally a guy that
Like-
sings Southern rock with his bros, you know.
I'm going to be honest here.
Okay, please.
This is something I would do when
God.
I was hard up for money, and I'd convince myself, okay, because, all right.
Oh, what, you'd
Let's-
act and you do a commercial for like Las Patas?
Let's just
Put a
say
cowboy hat on.
I'm Jimmy Van Zandt, right?
Grow your hair out.
And then I'm still dressing like I did 25 years ago.
Ripped jeans,
Yeah.
affliction T-shirt,
And,
dog tags. I don't think he ever served.
Well, this
And
was
then-
11 years ago, man.
And
This is
no,
like-
I know, but Jimmy Van Zandt was at one time a cool rock star. star, Southern rock
Okay.
star.
No,
Right?
he wasn't. His brother was.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Leonard Skinner at least
He fell into it.
Yeah, he did.
Let's just say at this point in time, he was way more famous before. Like he is on the downfall, coming in for a landing. Like the tires are touching.
Okay.
And he's made some bad financial decisions, right? And then somehow someone within the Little Debbie's or what is it, Moon Pie Corporation, I guess reached out to Jimmy Van Zandt because they're a fan, and then proposed them that he'd like do an endorsement commercial for Moon Pies, right? Probably thinking he'd never do it, but because he needed the money, he agreed, right?
Or maybe he just really likes moon pies. I remember meeting him, and the genuine love for moon pies in his eyes was a lot of moon pie eyes.
It seemed like he just signed a bunch of boxes.
When the
and-
moon
like,
hits your pie.
Do you want me to play this?
he
What
weighs 130 pounds. He
Yeah.
can't like
He's tiny.
He
Yeah,
can't
he's
like
a-
moon
he's
pies
a
that
little
much.
guy.
Like,
He's a little guy.
He is
I
tiny
think
man.
I'm 65 pounds heavier than him.
Like if Jelly
65
Roll,
pounds. I'm the jelly roll of Jimmy Van Zandt.
No, but if like Jelly Roll was like saying he liked moon pies, I believe him.
Yeah.
Jimmy Van Zandt, I'm like, you don't.
But we all know that if you ask Jelly Roll what he eats, he says, really not that much. Because all big fat people say that. All of them say that. They all say, we're like, what do you eat all day? Like, you'd be surprised. It's really not, right? They all say that. They're all like, you'd be surprised. It's really not that much. I just
Well,
have a disorder.
You can't tell the truth.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Because if you tell the truth, we'd be
Yeah.
disgusted.
It's like getting pulled over for a DUI. You're like, I've had two.
Never say two.
You've had
well, what have you had to
They
eat today,
know.
Jelly Roll? Like, I'm not. You'd be surprised.
You've had more than two. We know, I can
But
see
sometimes
it.
they leave it.
I can smell it.
But sometimes they leave it, but they're still telling the truth. So if you ask a morbidly obese person, "What have you had to eat today?" and they say, "You'd be surprised," but they're making you think it's not that much, but it really is
Yeah, you'd
such
actually-
a gratuitous amount.
Yeah. It's,
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to watch this video? This is Jimmy Van Zandt doing an ad for Moon Pies. Now this ad is
I don't know who's with him.
I don't know who
Who's the old
uploaded
man
this on
next to him?
YouTube, but whoever uploaded this on YouTube named the video "Scantily Clad Babe Serves Rockstar."
Okay.
So here we go.
And this is why it has.
Maybe someone's going to serve him a moon pie.
Man, I miss those good old days. Things were so much simpler. Used to be able to see people and talk to them. Now they got their noses down in these cell phones, these smartphones, their laptops, and we were coming up and didn't have
No real microphones on this. This is all
No.
being, this is all
Yeah,
being
this is like
picked up.
Hoochie Daddies. It's just like Hoochie
this
Daddies.
is all being picked up.
Season
for the-
2 coming soon,
The
Atlanta.
onboard microphone from somebody's, I'm guessing phone. This
yeah.
could have been filmed by somebody's, Google Pebble.
Well, this is being filmed for the Moon Pie Corporation, right? Like,
That's what I'm guessing.
So they hired some production company that's horrible, by the way, because Daniel's right. There's
Well,
no
it's
audio,
normally it's
there's
not a
no mics.
production company. I mean, anybody they call themselves a production company, but it's like his nephew.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, their spokesman is Jimmy Van Zandt.
Right,
They
okay.
got a budget.
Let's try here.
real much. You had like 6 or 7 channels. Andy Griffith, Lapin. Now you got 1,000 channels.
Those aren't channels, by the way. Those are shows.
Hold on. I paused on something I want to do this year in this particular video. If you're watching on
snakeskin
Twitch or
boots?
YouTube, nope. I want to have long, light-colored pointy boots, and then I want to have my jeans go
Cut
over them,
down
and
the
I want to
side?
cut the side of my
Yeah.
jeans to have my boots or have my jeans snug my boots a little bit.
Yeah.
Right? That's Rockstar, dude.
Okay, I'll explain to you what I find the most weird about this whole situation.
Okay.
Right?
Please.
The fact that Jimmy Van Zandt is still dressing like this, right, tells me that he still cares about how people view him, right?
Yeah.
Because you
How
don't
do you,
cut your...
how do you dress as an aging rock star, though, dude?
Well, that's how.
It's a
that's
dangerous
how hard,
game.
It is a
It's a
dangerous
dangerous
game.
game.
Yeah. It's hard to pull off. Because
I mean,
Ooh, I saw some people from the When We Were Young Fest and how they look now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, it is. Okay,
The
Tom.
lead singer of Academy is. I did not even recognize him.
Tom brings up something
Frog
I
body.
thought about before.
With skinny jeans falling off his frog
I
ass.
didn't expect you to say that, sir. Tom, you bring up something that I think about all the time, but I don't think I've ever articulated what it is. But I play a dangerous game sometimes, too, with some of the things that I wear. They're a little more youthful than maybe most people would wear. But it's a dangerous game.
Not okay.
It's like Gene Simmons can't dress like he I don't think he can do scarf, leather vest, skin tight black leather pants, no underwear, and combat boots, right? He has to do suit and black jeans and boots and sunglasses because he's a big fat frog.
Well,
right?
What's it?
Why did old men always turn into frogs?
Well, it's all coming for all of us.
Genetics,
It's just
yeah.
the Grim
The
Reaper.
frog's coming
the
for
frog,
all of
The
us.
Grim Frogger's coming for us.
Everybody turns into a frog.
Everyone turns into a frog. I'm almost there. Mine's almost complete because my hips are gone. And as soon as
Oh,
your
they
hips
got
are
no
gone,
hips, yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so froggy right now.
Now, I'll use TRT and human growth hormone to be a muscle
Andrea
frog.
won't let me. Andrea won't let me be a muscle frog.
Oh,
that's called a toad.
Well, that's your
See?
fault.
It's called a toad.
I'll be muscle toad, but I'll still have a big, bloated, muscly frog upper body with
Tiny legs, the same
That's called the
legs.
croak. It's called the croak. When you got the big, you round and white.
Yeah, but it's abs
Called
on
the
the
croak.
outside. I'll
Called
be
the
a tan. So I'll still be a tan muscle frog, but it'll be frog. You can't escape the
You
frog.
can't escape the frog. My wife's right now turned 40.
Yeah.
Frog's coming for you. I told her. She sees it. Let's
So,
continue with the
well,
commercial.
but-
Hold on.
Just go to movies
We gotta see
when
the
we're kids.
scantily clad
Take
lady.
7 RC bottle caps and they let you in.
He's talking about RC Cola.
Be at the movie theater, and I used to have to nudge all the time to keep your mouth shut because I couldn't hear the calling.
Whoever mixed this, by
This
the way,
guy is rambling.
The ducking is horrible. They could have pulled that music down about 9
The
more
music's
dB.
way louder than him,
It's
yeah.
way too loud.
Hey.
Whoever mixed this is horrible.
And the production company's like, all right, the premise is two old men complaining and sitting on
Reminiscing about the good old days.
rocking chairs, telling each other how today's youth is.
I see the hot girl comes. Okay, here comes
Okay,
the hot
here we
girl.
go.
So I went that big box of moon pies, and those were my favorite. Those were the good old days.
This guy hasn't said a word.
Yep.
Harley!
Is her name Harley?
Yeah.
She's bringing an RC Cola. Some old biker hag brought him a moon pie.
She's cute. I like her.
Yeah, I would say
I
about
mean,
biker.
no, she's not a biker hag. She's just got that.
She's orange.
No,
We're on a plantation.
she's not a biker hag. She's just got that old 03 by Toberfest kind of a look, you know?
She's been
Okay,
sitting
remember
in a
the-
tanning salon too long.
Remember the good old days? We're sitting on a plantation.
Yeah, rocking chair, yeah.
And there was real good old days.
I'll
when
ring
I
a bell
was
for an
farting.
RC Cola and a moon pie.
And then putting
When
like
this place was built.
and putting like an underlined hidden message in it. Isn't that exactly
yeah.
what they did in that country music video where it's like they're filming it at like the
people were
side of a
lynched,
lynching?
yeah.
It's like, let's do it at the old plantation.
The good old days.
Let me ask you guys a question. Is
my
there
stars.
any chance whatsoever that this sold any moon pies?
Hell no. No one even saw this but us just now.
No, I know. No one saw this or
No.
cared or thought to themselves like, oh, Jimmy Van Zandt is promoting moon pies. That makes me want a moon pie.
I'll
Like,
go
no
a
one
step
even,
further. I'll go a step
It's
further.
a complete waste of money.
There are people that I know that because we started doing this podcast so long ago, there are people that I know that don't really understand what we do but want to do it, right? Tons of people that email me all the time and they want to do it. And then there are people that try to dabble in podcasting or running like what I consider like a full-blown like audio house where we're doing like commercials and radio. Like there's a lot coming and going here. But then there are people that like dabble in it, right? Yeah. I think he gets free moon pies and maybe a little bit of money. I think he thinks that talking about the moon pies and saying you're, quote, sponsored by Moon Pie brand moon pies, I think he just kind of perpetuates it because he thinks it sounds cool.
You think? Oh, that's
Because I know of people that'll be like, oh, yeah, we're sponsored by, let's say...
Any kind of sponsorship,
Oh, yeah, we're
yeah.
sponsored by, let's say,
I think I know-
Hourglass Brewing, right?
Oh, that's
And
the
they-
Remy.
I wasn't going to name names.
Right, I wasn't either. But like, yeah, it's like where you say, hey,
Sam
we're
told me to say that.
I did not. I wasn't even here.
But you say, hey, we're sponsored by Hourglass. Well, is there anything being exchanged here? Just pleasantries, really. You know, it's just a mutual
Yeah, we'll give you a
beneficial-
free beer if you say our name. Who cares?
Yeah,
That's
but there's
39
no
cents a
real
beer.
business going on. That's the vibe I'm getting from this. Does that make sense?
Really?
Yeah, that's the vibe I'm getting from this.
See, I got the vibe that he needed the money, and then someone was a Leonard Skinner fan within Moon Pie, and they reached out. And
Did they do a logo
And they're
at
just
the
doing
end?
this for.
I don't even think they rolled a logo at the end.
Yeah,
Well, they showed the RC Cola logo.
Are they? Does RC Cola own Moon Pie?
Well, okay, no,
No,
that's a
he-
delicacy. Is Moon Pie with an RC Cola? It's a
He, I guess he had both. He was sponsored by Moon Pie and RC Cola.
Yeah,
Didn't bring us any RC.
So maybe he just did this on his own, right? Like to say, like, oh, I'm sponsored by Moon Pies. I'm sponsored by RC Cola. I'll just make a little video about it.
they can, like a lot of companies, if you don't have any business with them and you start saying you're sponsored by them, they'll shut you down for that because they're like, I don't know, I don't want you going through some controversy and tying in our name to it. You know, so.
Oh, okay. So it says, the Sons of Bluegrass Moon Pie Jingle isn't the first song to pay homage to Chattanooga Bakery's chocolate and marshmallow snack. In 1951, country singer Bill Lister had a minor hit with Give Me an RC Cola and a Moon Pie. So it was a song called Give Me an RC Cola and a Moon Pie.
I hear that. We gotta hear that.
From 1951.
I bet it's a banger. Give me an RC.
They also have a Moon Pie Festival in Hartford, Connecticut.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a huge southern thing, right?
Yeah, it really is. The RC, I remember there are a lot of those little things like RC Cola and a Moon Pie, putting salted peanuts in a Pepsi.
Yeah.
I've heard of that, but I've never done it.
The southern treats.
Yeah, give me an RC.
Salt on watermelon.
My dad used to do that. My dad used to salt his cantaloupe, too.
Love salt down here.
Cola and Moon Pie. I want to hear this song, but I'm not finding it on the... Oh, here we go. It's I think it's a really old, dude.
Yeah, 1951.
Well, it doesn't even have his name. It's some old radio name. Like, this is the NRBQ. Is this it?
All right, I'm in.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's groovy. I don't think they're going to sing.
Is it just
I don't think they're going to sing.
Instrumental?
Yeah, it says single version. It doesn't. Anyway,
the celebrity endorsements or the advertising
Oreo Cakesters.
Yeah. Well,
you had your own moon pie.
Yeah. Oh my God, your Castleberry moon pie.
Oh my God.
And what was your drink? White
they call
Claw?
it Castleberry Van Zandt.
So what do? You're advertising what, a White Claw and a Cakester?
Well, radio's easy
Crystal,
because
can I film this and have Crystal come out and serve you an Oreo Cakester and a White Claw?
If you
and
give me money, I'll do anything.
Booty shorts.
Sam, will you film it and then
Absolutely.
I can be the other guy in the rocking chair.
I'd have to get a lot of Oreo cakes or money, and by a lot I mean $500. But they have to give me something.
They'll pay you in Cakesters.
So when radio, you get paid per live read, so it's $20 a live read, and then if you do some sort of promotion, that's $300.
When I started, it was $15 a live read.
And so that's an easy equation. But the ones that I'm curious about are the one-off, like, celebrity endorsements of a product and what they get paid for that. Like, I know an
influencer number if you want that.
Well, do you?
Yeah, I do. There's an influencer that I don't really know personally or anything, but a girl influencer that does beauty that is Andrea's friend.
Okay.
And she took a client that was like a beauty client, and they wanted her to do a blog on her beauty blog.
Yep.
And they gave her close to $15K.
Okay. That's easier for me to understand.
It was a one-shot $15K.
Because that goes into the realm of...
She has a lot of followers.
So follow me with this.
Yep.
That goes into the realm of they're paying kind of like what we charge for advertising. You have X amount of audience, and they pay to get in front of that audience, right? So that's a little bit different. I'm talking about you're famous, and then a company comes to you and just wants you to say you like their product, and not to your
Taylor
own.
Swift.
Sorry, no. Or like what? Like it just, and then how much is that person's
like the Kansas City Chiefs.
endorsement worth? Just, and then you film it and put it out. You paid to put that out there, so it's like
400% jersey sales. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah,
wow, I don't know, man.
So it's like
I guess it's different per celebrity and
it
per
is
product.
100%. Yeah.
But then that valuation of what their endorsement is worth is fascinating to me because it's outside of like, okay, I understand if you're Rogan and you've got X amount of Spotify listeners, then it's easy to kind of figure out what you're charging per commercial based on the industry rate of advertising, right? But if
also being at the top is always easier to figure out what you're worth.
Yeah.
I feel like, like when you're somewhere in the middle, how do you figure that out?
But if you're like Dwight Schrute from The Office, Rainn Wilson, and let's say I'm not talking like a giant
Soul
corporation.
Pancake, he has that Soul Pancake company.
Okay, yeah.
He has his own company.
That's his own company. I'm talking
Yeah.
like if someone wanted him to endorse, I'm trying to think of like a random product, Crest toothpaste.
Okay.
And then you wanted
Yeah.
him, Rainn Wilson, to just endorse that you like the taste of it and that's the one you use.
What is that worth?
Yeah, what does that work? Because I'm
Well,
saying
let's
outside
start-
of the commercial pay.
Let's start with the most successful versions of those. Can you think of one of those that is uber successful? Can you think of one where
I'm trying to think of like a celebrity partnership.
I can
with
only
a
think
big
of ones that
brand.
went bad. Like immediately when I think celebrity partnership, I have been eternally tainted to think Jared of Subway. When anybody says, "Hey, this is our new spokesperson," no matter what it is, I don't care what product it is, I think Jared. I have been destroyed.
Yeah, but he wasn't a celebrity before.
I know,
yeah.
but just that
Yeah.
whole idea of hitching your product on a person and saying, "Look at this," it scares me. Maybe I
Like,
don't know.
I remember when the whole like there was a thing about celebrities going over to Japan and like Asian
Brad
countries.
Pitt, Hulk Hogan did a bunch of those. Arnold Schwarzenegger,
And they would do it because they would get paid an insane amount to endorse some Japanese product that they'd never even heard of, and they
Right.
just on some commercial. There's things going around them they don't even know what's happening,
Yeah.
and then so they fly them there and they get like $2 million. So that's something like all right,
There are
Brad Pitt's face.
There's a different way that a lot of these celebrities get sponsorships now that I don't even think a lot of people like realize that it's happening. But they do pap walks, right? And then so they'll call the paparazzi to take photos of them, and they will have whatever their sponsor is, whether it's a gym bag or a drink, and they'll have the logo out, and that's marketing for them, and they get paid for that. And it's not technically like an ad on
They're just holding it,
yes,
and then
they call the
paparazzi.
paparazzi, and they're like, oh, and it'll be in the article. It'll say whatever they're holding and the name brand and everything, and it's a slick way to do marketing now.
That's interesting. And I wonder what they like. I want to
don't know what they get paid
the
for.
dollar amount
Yeah, I don't
for
know.
wearing the backpack with
Right.
the logo. It's like, what is that worth?
Check
Yeah.
out this one from Hulk Hogan. This is like a really weird Japanese Hulk Hogan commercial that I found.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday comes again.
毎日
Sunday,
毎
Monday,
日
Tuesday,
日立の
Wednesday,
細長
Thursday,
な
Thursday,
静
Friday,
か
What is this
Saturday,
for?
サラサ
Sunday
ラ
comes
綺
again.
麗な
Isn't it a baby?
He's no,
体には細
What
長
the hell is this?
oh, Hulk Hogan doesn't even know what he's
I think it's
endorsing.
for an air conditioning. It's for
It's for a mini
It's for a
split.
mini split.
What? Hold on! I just almost cursed. You have Hulk Hogan singing, and then a baby, and
the
then
mini
a
split.
mini split.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
But then there's a cartoon rabbits at the end.
Don't talk about the rabbits.
Oh my god!
You know what I'm always surprised about? Okay,
Sorry, I
so
can't stop laughing.
do you guys see Bryan Cranston and is it Aaron Paul?
Yes,
was it?
at
Yeah.
Drake's birthday.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, but that's I'm surprised about that too.
all
But
that-
they're
Well, that was promo for their tequila.
and they're
Yeah.
they're
Yeah,
doing,
they're around Castleberry, dude.
They were in or
Maitland,
the ABC,
They've been here
Castleberry.
a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lake Mary.
and they do it a lot.
Always here.
They'll go and sign bottles.
Yeah.
and I'm curious to like. I wonder how because Bryan Cranston's a huge movie star, right?
And that's another point,
He's
right?
a
Where people are
megastar.
like, they don't need the money, but they're still doing it, right?
Yeah,
and so
yeah.
that's the whole point. It's just because somebody has a lot of money doesn't mean they're not going to still work and try and get more money.
Well, he's very genuine, right? And I think he does have a genuine passion for his tequila or his spirits company.
So that's what it is. He's just legitimately into it.
Yeah, same thing with like Dan Aykroyd when he brought his Skull vodka.
Yeah,
and
he'd
then
do signings too,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, he would do signings, but it's like, you don't need to do that. You're Dan Aykroyd.
But we're looking at it. It's his own company, and he's into it. So
fun
he's
for him.
passionate
Yeah.
about it. And then I saw him and Aaron Paul serving drinks, and that was a promotion.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
But it is like in my mind, Bryan Cranston is a bigger star than Drake. Just because he's a movie star, and I hold that, even though it's kind of ridiculous.
No, I can see that. I disagree, but I can see
Yeah, yeah,
your
yeah.
point.
No.
Yeah, I can see your point 100%.
So it's like and he's older.
Yeah.
and he's an old man. So
Yeah.
then I'm
You're
like,
Malcolm in the middle.
you're too good.
I think internationally, Drake's probably
Of course,
more
no.
popular.
I don't want.
I
Bryan
think he
But
is.
everyone hates
Cranston.
Drake now. So
No, I agree that Drake is more popular, but in my mind, like it's the below Bryan
Oh, I get
Cranston to even do that promotion. Because I always put like all promotions into a category of like radio promotions, and they're all cheesy, and they're all like
Well, they are very similar. No matter what, they're very similar.
Like you're
celebrity bartender. Come on,
yeah,
man.
you're hawking a product that you're just like it's a lower rung of celebrity.
You know, I've never been asked to do that.
What do you mean?
Of all the years I did celebrity everything in this town, you know, back when I think I was like,
you never did the bartender.
I've done everything else. I've judged every chili contest. I've judged Battle of the Bands. I've judged Florida's Finest Comedian. I've judged you name it. I've done it, dude. I've done every single bikini contest out the wazoo. Mother-daughter got up on stage 69. Like, you name it, I've done it. I have never, ever, ever judged that.
Or done celebrity bartending.
No, done celebrity bartending. I've never, ever been at. Maybe I'm too small. Maybe they're like, he's too small.
You were never low enough in your career because you basically went from a board.
Oh my God, Frashino said the same joke I said. Too small for the bar top.
No, but like you were never you were an intern with Old Man Radio. What was that guy's name? Ed Till. And then with Drew Show, you were already the board op producer, and then with the Monsters, you're already producer. So like that's an intern or like part time. Yeah,
I snuck in.
Like
Apartheid.
No, like a part-time intern, like a guy that's trying, there was a Drunky the Bear game.
Really?
Like,
you think so?
I've been celebrity bartender like 10 times.
But they asked people O'Connor to
do it for $300.
I disagree. I think they ask people that are memorable. You know, like you get like Marla Weech, Bob Opsahl, you get Drunky the Bear, you get Brendan O'Connor, you get real celebrities. I think maybe I have overestimated my celebritydom.
No, they do judging. But the bartending, because then the actual bar wants you to do some work. Because I've been in these things before.
Work.
Like, you're like, they actually.
You're making subs at La Spada.
Like, they're actually needing me to do the job. I'm not just showing up and like, hey, I pour a drink and then take some pictures, then leave. They're like,
open up my Oreo cakes.
This is a 5-hour shift.
Do you remember your hardest? Did you ever turn down any live reads at all?
No, every single one I took. Even the ones I didn't believe in or knew were scams. Even the ones that burned down Sam's Club.
Yeah.
And then I went there and I was like, this is not, I shouldn't be.
I only turned down 2.
Do you like house music?
I only turned down 2, and I love saying this because it's a true story, and I bring it up once a year and just to get him. But I turned down 2. One of them was the Y2K bat, which was a Louisville Slugger that somebody had laser etched Y2K.
Oh, I would have done that one.
Y2K on the bat, and you were supposed to buy the bat and use the bat to smash your computers.
Yeah, I would have done that one.
At the Millennium. So I turned it down. I said, that's stupid. And the other one that I turned down, and I would like to say that my contemporary Jim Colbert did not turn it down. He went in both feet. Was Winner's Circle. It was a pyramid scheme, and Jimmy went in with both feet, and he believed in it, and he was selling you up the river. And I being a good person and a good human and caring about my listeners, I didn't look at the money. I looked at what it would do to you and your families. It would destroy you, and Jimmy destroyed some of you people out there. And I'll never forgive him for it. It was called Winner's Circle. I remember I toured it, and when I toured it, I was like, these people are up to no good. But Jimmy said, show me the money. So you can email him.
Man.
Winner's Circle.
There's the Y2K bat, was it a local company?
Tom, it was a Louisville Slugger. Local guy. Louisville Slugger. And
what was he selling it for?
It was like $100 for the bat.
Okay.
And you got the bat. It said Y2K bat laser etched in it. And you'd be like, I got the Y2K bat. These computers are going to get me. I'm going to smash them good.
I remember the year 2000 and not being...
In the year 2000.
The year I graduated high school, and I don't remember being worried or anybody around me being worried about... the computer
Y2K. I remember we were all just like, what do you think? Like, I know I was just worried about losing audio files at the radio station. I was just like,
I remember that year too.
I was like, I hope this doesn't reset all my stuff.
No doubt saying it's the end of the world as we know it at midnight on MTV.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
But I remember, like, society should have been way more worried about all the computer systems shutting down.
They were. You just didn't.
We just couldn't do anything about it. You know, like they were like, what do you do?
People were freaking out, man.
Yeah, people were freaking out.
It doesn't seem in my mind like...
Look up
you're not very perceptive of things around you.
You don't observe things.
I remember, like, I remember people freaking out.
Your high school friends probably didn't care.
Look up Y2K, Sam, and see if there... I bet you...
The adults in my life...
I'm going to throw this out there. I bet you there are people that committed suicide on Y2K.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Because they were terrified of the end of the world.
I'm going to call my mom here. Hold on. Listen.
Your mom's probably not the best gauge.
Well, she was an adult in
She's
2000.
a fudge round sun kiss lady all
You're going to
day.
ask your mom about
Well,
Y2K?
that's who's the most afraid of Y2K,
Nah,
right?
I don't
Like
think
a
so.
fudge round sun kiss. That's how you're afraid of the everything, right?
Nah. Can't be bothered.
Like, hold on.
She's smoking her cigarettes.
Do you
She's
think?
fine.
Oh, hold on, Sam.
Leave
Do you
her
think your
alone.
mom was afraid of Y2K?
Didn't give a damn.
All right. Oh, yeah. Maybe my mom didn't care. That's how I gauge. Our moms.
I want to see
They're pretty similar.
Y2K Bat 2000. Oh, maybe it was a national product.
I know for sure my stepdad Steve didn't care. And never.
The
spoke
Federal
of it.
Reserve set up a special liquidity facility to give banks loans in case of sudden demands for cash. The electrical grids were like, I mean, even the government was like,
Yeah.
"We're not sure."
Yeah, Tom's
Just
like,
in
did people
case.
really take it seriously?
But you know what? I'm so used to social media spreading fear instantly.
Schools may encounter problems after the holiday break. Almost 40% of school districts and colleges have not adequately tested their facilities for the Millennium computer bug.
Like, I don't remember adults.
This is an article in
my life.
1999.
No,
terrorism. They were afraid of terrorism.
I remember
but
some
not that-
Airlines, they were afraid that planes were just going to fall from the sky.
But they were still flying around, right? They didn't ground everybody.
This sounds
International flights were carrying extra fuel on New Year's Eve.
Doesn't this sound like exactly what we did during the pandemic? We didn't know what the hell's going on.
Yes, exactly.
I mean,
We
it's
never know what the hell's going
we're just
on.
like, I don't know.
We're
Let's
going to just like try our
something.
best.
Try something.
No, yeah, but now things spread instantly, and people
Yes.
get scared of everything instantly. I think like there was less
doomsday
But it also helps
unless you were
instantly, too.
watching the news.
But it helps instantly too. There is the positive side of that people
Yeah.
that don't get scared like you get the information faster and able to be at ease faster.
Yeah.
So with an equal opportunity of negativity of I'm scared of everything because I get everything, there's also people that get everything and aren't scared.
Yeah. But then people spread the fear faster because that's what spreads faster.
Yeah,
you
it
know,
does.
it's because
Well,
it's what
more,
sells.
You're going to get more eyes on it. That's
It-
for sure.
It didn't seem because there was only the news and newspapers in 2000 and very limited internet or whatever. There's no social media.
Ghost in our Twitch chat room says, I do recruitment and occasionally I have to review IT resumes, and you get some old timers who have Y2K compliance officer in their work history.
Yes.
That's kind of cool. I'd put that on there too. It shows that you can handle an emergency situation. I don't remember being scared, but I do think not that my dad was scared, but that my dad, not being the most trusting human of computers, was a little like, I
A
think
lot of people took all their money out of the bank.
I think my dad
I
did
remember
take,
that, yeah.
I think my dad did take a couple thousand out of the banks because I think my dad was very much of like, well, if you
never know.
if you trust these things fully, you deserve what you get. You know, kind of a thing. You
It's
know?
all numbers in a computer. What
Yeah.
if that
Exactly.
shuts down?
Yeah, I think he was a little more like that. You know, but I wasn't really concerned about it other than thinking that, like, oh, is the radio station, all my files going to get messed up? Is my laptop going to work? You know.
It just goes like I was 17 at the time, so my mind is not focused on what you know.
And you weren't very involved as a 17-year-old in actual
No.
world politics or anything.
Yeah,
Which is good. It's a better way to live,
I-
right? Because nothing happened. If you really think about
who's
it.
involved into politics at 17?
I was in
Really?
I was in politics club.
Yeah,
Oh.
all of my friends, dude. I grew up with my group of friends that I grew up with that were around my neighborhood. You know, the ones that I talk about going to their houses and jumping on their trampolines and stuff like that. Were really active in student government and even worked on like local campaigns for like George
College
H.
credit.
Bush. I had a buddy of mine, still a good friend of mine, that worked on George H. Bush's campaign as a volunteer, but a page. Like he was like a do boy for the because he wanted to eventually work his way into something like that.
That's crazy to me because
weird.
it's not the reality.
They didn't go around and ask you to sign up to vote when you were 17 at school. And
I didn't care about.
See,
no
that's what
one
I'm saying.
around me
That's
cared
what,
about
That is what I'm
anything.
saying. That's why you didn't know anything about any of this.
Yeah. I didn't care.
Yeah.
None of us cared. Like politics. Like like no one cared about like even turning 18 to be able to vote. That wasn't no one cared about that.
I
I knew.
remember.
We hung out with different groups of friends.
I still remember walking. I couldn't vote. I remember I must have been like a sophomore in high school, and I remember walking to the library and having a girl that I knew that was actively working on a campaign ask me who my parents were voting for.
Yeah.
And I was like, and my parents had kind of taught me to not
discuss
that
Yeah.
sort of thing, you know? And I was like, I'm not going to tell you that, like, sort of thing. And then she was like, oh, well, I know who you're voting for now because you didn't tell me.
What does that mean?
Well, because she was working for, like, a liberal campaign or whatever at the time. But I just, like, it's funny that I can remember that, yeah, you and I
Even
had
then,
completely
it was-
different
yeah.
realities because I can remember there were some people in my high school that were really active in, like, you know, they were, like, 15, 16 years old and were like, I'm going to be a politician. I'm going to be a governor. And I'm like, that's weird. That is weird, right?
Yeah. Well, it's odd to me.
It's
maybe,
odd to me, too.
Maybe
It's
it's
weird.
a lot more people or young people are into politics than I think. I just thought that no one cared when they were young
I don't.
about anybody.
I think there's half of Toms out there.
Yeah.
There's half of Dan and Sam's out there.
100%.
I mean, there was tons of kids in my school that didn't give a damn about politics and stuff.
Do you
either.
have any friends now? This is a weird one. Do you have any friends now that you went to school with that are politicians?
No.
I got a lot of teacher friends.
I'm trying to think if I do.
Or
And
people that
I'm
I
pretty
knew.
sure I do have a couple of lower level, like, city commissioner guys.
I wish
got
I
a
could.
couple
Well,
of those.
hold on. I
know what you're going to say.
I know one guy.
Yep, you do.
And his brother was a politician. I wish I could tell the story. I probably could. But he is a disgraced politician. In Miami. It was a Miami thing.
Hold on, I got to give you one. There you go.
Oh, I'll talk about it. So what he did, and it's kind of brilliant, but it's the most Miami thing. And
I think it's
extreme voter fraud.
Super brilliant.
But I knew this guy, and someone could look this story up and know exactly. But his brother, we were friends with him, and not his brother. His brother's always older.
Yeah.
But his brother became a politician, and high up politician. And then in one voting cycle, what he did is he paid some other guy, like the guy running against him was, let's say, named George Alvarez, right?
Okay.
I just made that up. So
Sounded pretty close.
That's his name because you can't make anything up that quick.
That was damn good.
I got scared that it might have been.
Yeah, it was very close.
It's the most Miami name I could think of.
I was like, that sounds real.
Javier Alvarez.
And then what he did is he paid a buddy of his or someone he found that was
I
like the
believe it was
manager of
somebody
an
he
AMCO
found.
or whatever, and that with the same exact name,
Yep.
he paid his and this is where the fraud came in because you're not allowed to pay their registration fee to run, but he basically paid this guy with the same name to run as well as like an independent, hoping that just people would get confused and vote for him, and it would
People get confused? No.
it would take votes away from the other guy because they had the same name,
Yeah.
and then enough people, and he knew it was a close enough race, and he ended
you
up winning
split the
because
vote.
of
You
it.
can split the damn vote.
It didn't split it, but it took like 10% of people like voted for this guy that was just some manager of a thing. Like he wouldn't
So
even,
great.
and he ended up winning, and but then he bragged about it at a bar. That
Yeah,
was, that
I
was
think that's the one that blew it up.
And then
God,
FBI.
just shut up.
That's called the
People would
tunnel.
just shut up.
That's called the tunnel when you pull a fast one and you show up at the Applebee's and you're bragging about the big fast one
Yeah.
you sold, but the lady that you
Yeah.
pulled the fast one on is behind you.
And then it happened to be at a time where voter fraud was a popular, so they were kicking his door down.
Oh,
and
yeah.
like you started
gonna
using
make
it
a
as an
example out of you, yeah.
It got real bad, but that's a Miami politics.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a really good one.
Which I actually, I was like, that was a smart idea.
Yeah.
I think where the only problem
And he
was
would have got away with it.
he would have got away with
Yeah.
it, but there was a paper trail of him showing that he actually paid the guys because
Never leave a paper trail.
to run is like $3,500 in like
Yeah.
registration fees.
Like when
or
the
whatever.
guys show up with the receipts for the rope that they bought, and they, like
Right.
the Jussie Smollett
They
thing.
got you on the video
Yeah.
buying it at the
It's
Walmart
like-
the
Yeah,
night
yeah,
before.
yeah.
You idiot.
Yeah, you gotta leave. You gotta pay for that. You gotta leave cash at that guy's in a
Have
bag.
someone else pick it up for you. Come on.
Yeah.
Have no record of
Correct.
I mean,
But I understand if I was still living in Miami, I was like, no way anybody's gonna catch this whole place.
I mean,
is
aren't
corrupt.
people careful about anything? I mean, even
No.
when I don't want Andrea to know what I'm doing, I'll take my car home, switch out for the scooter. I'm riding the scooter through that. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta switch your car, you change your hat.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
when you have a lot of confidence, you're not as paranoid. That's the key.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Like
Yeah, narcissists always think they're going to get away with everything. It's true.
Ultra confident.
Well, we don't
I know
think-
better
we don't
than
ever
you,
think we're
yeah.
getting away with anything. I mean,
Like when you got snakeskin boots and your Rolex,
And you're talking about moon pies.
I was gonna say.
you don't think you're gonna get caught in nothing.
Want to take a break?
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is it.
That's time.
All right.
I was just going to sit here and eat my moon pie quietly with the audience.
See you guys. Bye-bye. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha, our producer's here. Hello, Sam.
Hey.
So the Orlando Science Center is bringing back their VIP tours of their observatory.
Yeah, did you guys? I wasn't gonna.
Observatory. I have to push it out like a dude.
Don't say that. Just do it like Dusty Rose. Go like, little baby, the private tour of the observatory. The observatory at the Orlando Science Center, baby, is back. And November 10th, you can get a special engagement to go up there, baby. But remember that everybody gets to look through the telescope, daddy. Oh, yeah, baby. Do it like that.
OSC.org if you want to book them and just, send them an email and let them know that you heard it from Tom and Dan, and you get $25
Yeah,
off.
we did it. It's I'm not even overblowing this or making it crazier than it is. It's a life-changing experience to see the cosmos through a $100, $200, $300,000 telescope.
Like me and my son saw Neptune, and then you through a telescope, and this is insane, And then you look at the moon, like a close up, super close up.
It's awesome.
Is crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so now we'll start with this
new bit.
We've always put out in Tom and Dan that if you are interested in doing a bit on our show.
This has always been your mantra. You invented
come
this.
do it.
You invented this. This is like really the Tom Van way is, look, if you want like Trivia Drew, I want to do trivia. You're in.
Business Baby, Christrema. We've had a lot come and go throughout the years. That one seemed to, where's Josh been?
He's busy, man. He's got a new job.
Vince Taylor, we had on one time.
I think we had twice. But some people may think it's crazy. They're like, well, you're just letting anyone just do a bit? But think about this. No one knew Brock Purdy was good until he got in the game.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Wow, look at this guy.
He was Mr. Irrelevant. Last person drafted.
He was indeed. And he's my quarterback. He's been doing pretty good for me this year.
If Trey Lance and Garoppolo wouldn't have gotten hurt, he would have maybe been third-string quarterback for his entire career. No one would have known until he got in the game. You got to give people a chance.
You got to give them a chance.
And maybe you'll win the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
So we got an email from the gentleman in today. And he wanted to do a bit, and I want to find out why.
Why us?
Yeah.
You could have picked all the professionals in this town, and you chose Tom and Dan.
So John Graham is here. How you doing, John?
Hey, good. You guys called me back.
Good to see you, man.
So, John, tell us first, what made you even want to email us and want to do a bit on our show?
Well, I listen, of course, and I came to town in 2000. I was the Wacky Morning feature reporter at Fox 35 for about 3 years.
Okay, all right.
And before that, I did the same thing in Louisville, Kentucky, and I did a little bit of it in Indiana. And I used to have a segment. Well, when you go to these places every morning, you're there at like 5:30, 6 in the morning to get ready, and sometimes people don't show up. Like, literally, you'd show up outside the karate studio or whatever, and no one would be there. They forgot. So
oh, my God. Sound like a radio guy. I show up on a Beavers and Phones.
John, how do they forget? They're going to be on the news, and
they said, oh, it was Monday. I'm sorry. I forgot over the weekend.
But the news was going to give their karate dojo free advertising. Like, if the news told us, like, hey, we're going to show up here, like, there's no way we'd forget. It'll be like,
I'm trying to think if we have ever forgot about being on the news. I don't think we ever have.
No, because if you're going to get on the news, you're getting free marketing. Like, show up.
Well, it's just a lack of respect when you really boil it down, right? It's like, I mean, it kind of is. It's just like, it doesn't really matter.
So then when you showed up at the dojo and then Seth didn't show up because he forgot, what would you do?
So the backup then was I'd run to the 24-hour grocery store and buy 3 or 4 things off the shelves, and then I had permission from a local coffee shop. This was in Louisville at the time, and we did it here a couple of times. And you'd blindfold people, and then we called the segment, "What Did I Just Eat?"
All right, so you do
You're having a
Thinking about
pivot.
that meat.
I love this. John, I'm already in, man. I love that you had. I didn't know that the origin story of your bit was just pure and utter news panic.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? That changes everything.
Hold on, so you would
This
go
is
to
also terrifying.
Blindfold people, and then
I suffer
it could be
from
candy corn. it could
crippling
be
anxiety.
canned
The
peaches.
idea of
Yeah.
having to go live. We're going live at 8:30. We're at the dojo. What happened? They're like, they're not. It's locked. It's locked. Well, just
We
go
need a
to-
backup
Go
plan.
to the coffee shop and get the things to try that you're doing the food thing. This is giving me straight
and
anxiety.
then you just get people off the street to
Yeah,
participate.
people who are in the coffee shop. Yeah.
Okay, and so now would you? Would you do the fear factor and or
No,
like,
we wouldn't go too good.
Open your eyes. There's a dildo.
Yeah. I think the grossest we ever went was like circus peanuts.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay,
so
all
it's
right.
very like vanilla bit, right? It wasn't, you're not like, what was this? That
was me.
That's a fish eyeball.
Ew.
And then that kind of evolved. We would look for what's new. Like some grocery stores actually have that little section of new products, and so that's kind of what my idea for today is. I've got a bunch of brand new products. Most of these are Halloween themed right now because that's hot in the stores.
Oh my God, we've never had a product specialist. This is awesome. We're like a real radio show, man.
John, you've already done more prep than EJ has ever done. I'm virtually certain EJ just he pulls up at Parks 10 minutes before he's supposed to be here, and then he looks at his phone for 5
I'm
stories.
good.
Yeah, he searches nerd and Pokemon, or Pokemon and sports. Anyway, so what is basically are you going to blindfold us?
No. I figured this was also just
I was going to be like, I'm out.
And then
Because I was like, I can't wait for Sam to be blindfolded.
I wanna be blindfolded.
And you're like, open
Put
your
this
mouth.
in your mouth.
like a shaky spoon.
No, thank you.
but I figure I'll let you know as much or as little about these before we dive into one as you want.
Okay,
well,
all right.
Well, I kind of want to be blindfolded.
Me too.
We can blindfold
tell
you.
you. Well, I've got a couple.
I'll blindfold myself.
I've got one I was planning on doing last is ice cream. There's a great and strange place at Disney Springs called Salt and Straw. Have you been? Anybody been?
I've
No,
heard.
I haven't been yet.
I've
So
heard.
there's a long
They
line.
have great conventional flavors, and then every month they come up with 5 weird flavors. So obviously they went crazy for Halloween. But so I'll just hand you guys the ice cream, and you can just tell me what you think. Okay. And then I'll tell you what's in it.
All right.
Oh, it's me. I'm in it. I'm in the ice cream. You're eating me.
I'm the problem. It's me.
Oh, no.
All right, make something out of that.
And the problem is jizz. Oh, sorry. You can't say that. I'm sorry.
You
John.
can. You actually can say that.
All right, I can. Leave it in.
Can we say it? Show me. No, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it twice because that'd be titillating.
All right, so John, going back to the news days,
Yeah.
when you do this bit, did you ever go back and see if the ratings spiked or like if people liked it? Because then I'm guessing in the back of your
They
mind
had
you're
their
like
people meter.
Yeah, you're like we got a lot of email. The program directors, we got a lot of emails liking John Graham's. What did you just eat bit?
They like the ladies blindfolded with a shaky spoon.
They would never tell us that much, but I would get like my news director say, "Okay, you can do that again someday." So that's about as
Not
much
bad.
encouragement as you
Not
get. Yeah.
bad, Graham.
But there seriously was. Okay, you're wearing gloves. Okay, new spoon for every person, right? It's like, yes, of course.
Yeah, but you were. You had a spoon in your pocket.
Why did you put on gloves? Yeah. It's just, and then you wipe the spoon off with your shirt.
Yeah.
And then you give it to them.
I did that yesterday when I ate my chili.
Like most people are eating tons of doo doo and the other particles. And
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's in the air when you go to the bathroom.
You know where?
Were you eating in the bathroom?
Do you want to know why I know it's
You're
not
opening
that
your
bad?
mouth?
You want to know why
No,
I know?
you're not. Why are you opening your mouth in the
breathing.
bathroom?
I open my as soon as I walk into a public restroom. I open my mouth like one of those whales, like looking for like plankton. I'm like,
Oh, my God.
I try to get as much in me as it makes me strong. My daughter. Never mind. I'm not going to say. That.
Sorry, John.
Too far.
All right, so how do we want to start here?
Oh, I've got Happy Meals in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I didn't know if right now the Happy Meal treat is I don't know if you remember when you were kids, there were little buckets. And so they brought back the buckets. This one should have fries and nuggies. In each of them, McDonald's, what we're getting at is McDonald's has 2 new sauces right now. They're both for a limited time only.
Okay.
And I think each of you, let me know which one you got, and I'll
typing.
toss you another one. So
I've got sweet and spicy jam.
There's sweet and spicy jam, and there's Mambo sauce.
Now, can I tell you right now, my wife is going to be really mad because my wife's favorite breakfast treat. I'm going to tell you my wife's favorite breakfast treat, and you guys tell me if you think this is gross. My wife's favorite breakfast treat is a McDonald's biscuit, sausage, fried egg, and then she puts grape jelly on it with cheese.
Okay.
I used to do that with just the McMuffin. I
That's
would
her
just get an egg McMuffin
favorite.
and stick
Grape
the jam
jelly,
in it,
sausage, fried egg, cheese, buttermilk biscuit.
Okay.
So this, she was really excited.
That's
to
actually
try.
kind of the McDonald's. The sweet and spicy is the first time they've come up with a sauce just for specifically for breakfast.
Yeah.
You can use it for chicken nuggets and other stuff too, but they actually designed that to put on breakfast.
She's going to be
sandwiches.
mad because this is like she's been wanting to try this, and this is like,
got
hard to find.
I've got spares.
Oh, look at you!
This Mambo sauce looks fake.
What is this? Yeah, I got a Mambo.
So Mambo sauce.
You printed this yourself, John. And it's just so happened to be
It's your EDB again.
It's a Mambo.
It's always been me.
Is this the problem, Mambo?
So Mambo sauce actually got it started in Washington D.C.
All right.
I think they
a
probably
minute.
switched up. It was
I
called
bought this sauce.
Mumbo sauce, and McDonald's
Mambo?
version is Mambo sauce.
I think I bought this sauce. There's a lady in D.C. that makes it that sells it on QVC, and I think I found it at Whole Foods and bought it. But this is McDonald's version.
Is it hot anyway?
Yeah, I mean, they're both a little spicy. Do you remember a couple of years ago when McDonald's brought back a Rick and Morty
Yes.
Szechuan sauce?
Yes.
So there's a little bit of Szechuan sauce spice in this. To me, what it reminds me of, and I bet this is the recipe for whoever first invented it, is it seems like a little bit like barbecue and a little bit like sweet and sour sauce.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so it's splitting the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, Andrea loves the... I found this out earlier.
Are we supposed to be trying this?
I found this out yesterday for my wife. This is like a secret that she had held and never told me for years. We were talking about her grandmother's cooking, and we were talking about like meatloaf. When she said, I didn't like my grandma's meatloaf, so I would gag it down by dousing it in Chinese duck sauce.
Oh.
And I go, how old were you? She's like, yeah, I was 7, 8, 9. Like a kid. I'm like, duck sauce?
Yeah, it was a different time. So, like,
Right?
Like, there was no kid sauces in the 60s.
No.
Or whatever.
But duck sauce? I was like, that's so weird, duck sauce.
Now, I will say, I feel old media again, and I love it.
Yeah, me too. I'm in my zone.
Yeah. Like, I feel so comfortable. Like, you place a blanket over my shoulders,
Yeah,
John.
really.
Because I'm eating food.
I'm waiting for you to bring me
You're
my
a
egg
pro.
sandwich. If you bring me an egg sandwich,
Yeah.
then I'm a kept man.
I immediately stopped thinking about what to do next now that John's here because I'm like, John's a pro. He
Yeah.
thinks on his feet.
He's got a cooler full of surprises.
Yeah, he's
And
all
they're
prepared.
all him. They're all him.
And if I like, and this is the problem with new media. When you got old impulsive, he's leaning down. He doesn't even care. He hasn't even prepared at all for a show. He doesn't even know who he's
He
talking
doesn't have
to.
to. He's rich.
Yeah, no, he's just like leaning down. He doesn't even think about Plan B or what to do if the guest says this. He doesn't
I bet
care.
he's thought about Plan B before.
He doesn't even care.
I bet he's done that a couple dozen times.
Oh, by the way, I saw him do a Celsius commercial, and he's like, he opened up his Ferrari.
That's his brother's company.
Oh, maybe it's Logan. I can't tell the difference. They all look the same. And,
No, Logan is Prime. Jake is Celsius.
Okay, Jake, whatever. And then he's barely trying. He pulls up to the 7-Eleven. He's like, hey, try this Celsius. It's
pretty good. They don't even say it's like awesome. They're like, try this. It's all right.
It's all right.
And it's an amateur film. Like the guy's filming with a cell phone.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, come on.
Oh my God, it's like Jimmy Van Zandt commercial.
I'm like, John wouldn't do this. John
No.
would have 10 different outs. And then,
John doesn't know that we haven't done a full body shot, but he's still got his apron on.
We're on a podcast, a radio, and I brought an outfit.
Yeah, but no, we're on camera. But like,
Yeah,
I mean, seriously, like you're like the most respectable person on the show.
Yeah.
All right, are we supposed to try this?
Okay,
Dive
Open
in,
up
give him
your
a try.
sauces.
No.
Do I do a
What do we
nugget?
want to start with? We want to start with Mambo or the
Sure, Mambo.
sweet
Mambo?
and spicy jam. Okay, we're going Mambo first.
You know, I forgot.
And I
how-
got a little confused earlier. It's the jam one that's a little more Szechuan peppercorn.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I'll go. Are we doing jam or Mambo?
I'm doing
Mambo.
Mambo first.
Oh, damn
Mambo.
it. Open the jam.
There you go.
Lick the jam off.
Okay, hold on. What do you think of that?
I haven't eaten a nugget in a while.
Me either.
Yeah, they got good
That's
ones.
a good
too.
breakfast.
They got good ones.
All right. I like them.
It's a little sweet, but there's like a kick at the end.
Yeah. I like the
I'm
spiciness.
not sure what it is, but
So you think barbecue, sweet and sour?
Yeah, it does taste like a barbecue, sweet and
I think
sour
my
mixed
kid,
together.
My kid will like that.
Yeah,
If she's on the spicy kick. That's good.
But like a hot barbecue, sweet and sour. That's it.
Yeah, that's good.
And you can get this at any McDonald's?
Yeah, you never know for sure because they're franchisees and stuff. And I actually have been twice to get the ones I brought in. First time, I just bought myself a breakfast sandwich and said, "Give me 4 of that one and 4 of that one," and they did. Second time, they charged me 25 cents a piece. So it's probably going to be kind
They're onto you.
of check out
Yeah.
your local McDonald's and see if you get them for free if you got to pay for them.
No one knows the protocols.
No.
I mean,
Is there a
I'm
button?
worried about.
Isn't there a button?
I'm worried about even asking for Mambo because that's going to throw off the process.
Well,
And I'm-
if you go inside, have you been inside a McDonald's in the last 2 years?
It's all
No,
touchscreen.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
all you don't
homeless
get. You don't talk to anybody. It's
I'm not
weird.
a disgusting
Yeah.
animal. Good Lord.
Yeah, no, it's all touchscreen. Like they are dying to get the robots. Like the Mr. McDonald is. he is counting. I mean, there's got to be
so tired of humans.
there's got to be a
Mambo's
calendar.
got the cayenne pepper in it.
It's pretty spicy,
Yeah.
dude. I was going to say for Sam.
Yeah,
I was
I'm drinking my LaCroix.
Yeah, I was going to check in with you. That's a little spicy
Yeah,
for
a
you.
little spicy on the end there.
I messed up and gave her a flaming hot chip one day.
Oh, no.
Don't do
I'm
that.
sure the sweet and sour.
And you'll see
Jam.
the jam is definitely a jam. It's not. You can.
Oh, it is a jam.
You
man,
can
this is
jam
thick.
nuggets in there, but it's
Look, it is-
it's spreadable.
It's like
Holy
real.
smokes.
It's real jelly.
That's good.
Was that
I don't know
apple?
whether I should keep talking so everybody doesn't have to
No,
listen
no, no.
to the mouth
No,
sounds.
let them listen to us masticate. They love it.
It's ASMR.
There's one thing I learned
Yeah.
about radio is that people love hearing fat DJs chew. They love it.
Yeah.
There are some morning shows that have all they do is they like
Yeah.
the clients come, they bring you the food, you're eating a muffaletta, and it's like
No.
6:30, and you chew it good. They love it here.
I want to cut my sleeves off so bad because my nuggies will taste better.
That's good.
Yeah. Now, I figured it'd be good because if I know McDonald's, they got some sugar and salt in there.
Oh, they salted it up so
Oh,
good.
they're sugar crazy in that jam.
Yeah.
The jam is good.
They're like, the secret is the sugar. We'll put it in everything, and then everybody will be addicted to it.
And then if you're like, I don't like sugar, they're like, we got salt. Right? I mean, it's like
Other than that, nothing else for you.
and the fat just holds it all together. That was good, man.
Oh, good.
Yeah, those are excellent, and that's any McDonald's Mambo sauce and sweet and spicy jam. What are these?
Got a little something to wash it down with.
Oh yes, please.
This is Fanta for Halloween. Fanta Zero Sugar. What the Fanta? So it's mystery
Oh,
flavor.
what the Fanta?
Oh, wow, this John, you're so good. Look at this. Is that a glow in the dark can?
I will tell you one thing. I should probably
glow-in-the-dark can.
let this surprise you, but I won't. Among the other things, first it's black. It's pitch black. So
The
you don't
drink
know what
is pitch
flavor it is.
black?
Yeah, the drink is black.
Oh, I don't know.
And it's,
Oh my God! Once you go black, John, you never go back.
and it's probably going to dye your tongue and lips.
What? Black teeth?
Is that thick?
Man, these are ice cold.
John's like dead serious. Like,
Yeah.
There's one thing I must warn
You will have a black mouth
Little
at the
snake
end.
in your mouth. I'm pitch black. It's gonna get you good.
So they've done this. I think this
I
is
feel
the
like I need a
second.
straw.
I think this is the second or third time they've done one of these
Well, it
for
smells
Halloween.
great. First of all,
And I happen to know, or at least I think I know what flavor it is.
glow in the dark can.
Off
Because
the
they-
smell, I'm going to say pineapple.
I'm going to give Fanta major props for their branding. The glow in the dark can is badass. It's cool.
And you get these. I bought them at Publix, but I think they have them at one
How
of the
did you
dollar
get
stores.
these so
or-
cold they hurt my hand?
Yeah, they're super cold.
Man, what were you doing? You got dry ice in there? Holy smokes!
I'm a professional.
All right. Let's see.
0 calories in that, buddy.
It's a little bubble gummy.
The secret kind of got out because what happened is apparently Walmart on one of their floor displays actually wrote it out somewhere.
Oh God! Why do you do that?
But if you go to the Fanta website, there's also some clues. So I feel pretty confident I know what it is.
Let's see if we can.
And do you want us to tell the world, or do you?
Let's try.
Not right now.
I'm going to take
Not
another.
right now.
Yeah, not right. I want to work on this.
That it definitely sweet. And
Oh, your teeth are green.
all right. No, yours are. Yeah, they're a little dull.
Yeah.
dull, dull and good.
I like a nice dull teeth.
So,
There's
what flavor would you say? That is?
Cherry in there.
I got a little cherry, maybe.
But it tastes like one of those colorful rainbow candies.
Well, have you ever seen the studies? They did studies with the artificial flavors like, grape soda, cherry soda, orange soda, and they'll actually color them wrong. Like they'll give you purple orange soda or green cherry soda, and people can't tell.
Yeah.
'Cause it's too sweet.
When
Because you're keying off the color. You go, oh, yeah, that's grape. But
Yeah,
no.
so that's why they make it black, so that And now I feel like that's kind of cheating because you're making it very. It's like overall kind of like sweet, sugary flavor.
Sure.
They could, if you told me this was like cherry or like some sort of pomegranate, I would believe you. You know, like,
the
you can
mixture
say a lot of things.
of flavors. And 'cause
Allegedly, it's one flavor.
Well, I try a lot of these because I haven't tried this one, but I did the Mountain Dew one that came out about a month ago that was like it's a Mountain Dew Voodoo. Every year they do a mystery flavor as well for Halloween. And I tried that one, and every single time I try one of these, the flavor profile I get, even this one, is like, you remember Bomb Pops, where it's blue raspberry, the lemonade, and the cherry all together? It's that melted, like that.
Yes,
all those flavors is that.
That's how I would
It's like
describe
Bomb
it too.
Pop.
Yeah.
Well, I think they've kind of figured out, like, you know how Oreo puts out like 6 new flavors every year, or however many?
Yeah.
Because they only need you to buy it once. Yeah, so as long as it's okay.
Yeah,
you
you're
don't
right.
feel ripped off. You're like, oh, I tried the new, like, I remember in the Midwest, I think it was Kroger, they tried Oreos with Swedish fish flavored gel, or goo in the middle. And I can't imagine that's very good, but there's, you know, it's weird enough that people will buy it.
It's just for the marketing. Like, they produce a small batch, and then they put it out there because they're like, okay, even if no one buys it, we're going to get X amount of dollars in marketing from every...
I mean, we're doing it right now.
John Graham's going to
They'll
buy
talk
it.
about it on the podcast. and
John
radio.
Graham's going to buy it, and he's going to put himself inside the can for us to those guys to try.
And so they know they'll get enough marketing. And, you know, craft
I
beer
don't hate
companies
this
have done
either.
this.
That's another thing I want to say is it's a little too sweet for
It
me.
is very sweet,
but I don't hate it. I think Maisie, in this size, Maisie would love this. This definitely, if you got a kiddo that
tastes like candy.
Yeah, it does taste like candy. It's good.
So
the
what,
flavor
what
would be
flavor is it, John?
It is allegedly blood orange,
Hold
No
on, let me
way.
see this. Okay.
which is
No way.
Italian.
I'm not even tasting any type of citrus there.
Okay, I get it.
But now that I've said it, do you?
Yeah. Now you said it.
Definitely
yeah,
blood
It's
There's kind of a little, you know, I mean, people know Fanta for orange, so there's,
good.
you know, now you can taste a little bit of orange in the back.
I like it. Oh man, your teeth are black. I like. You know what? I like you with black teeth. I wonder if people. How
Just
are
drink
Lord.
that for
that's going to save me a lot of time.
How are mine?
I spilled it. It's
And
eaten through your
money.
end table.
Like I said, they're fine. They're a little dull. It's just dull.
Well, I am wearing my Invisalign.
Here, let's see the tongue.
Yeah,
I don't know.
stained.
I don't know his tongue. Is that about that?
When Tom sees my tongue, he becomes an old Cajun man. Yay!